What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Safe State episode 4. I am Matt. I am not your host. I'm just the best looking dude here. So with us tonight, we have Beauregard or whatever his name is from Two Law Tech this week. We have Lee from Handheld Hoarder. And as a special guest, we have Mr. Selfish from Retrospect. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Good.
Can't complain.
Doing great.
Can't
Rocking
complain.
and rolling, rocking and rolling. So how's your week been? Are we getting a lot of gaming going on? What do we got going on this week?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of testing on RG557.
Heck yeah. So
I'm always gaming too much. Always.
Yeah?
Always gaming.
what are you
too
game?
much.
What are you
Yeah.
playing?
Mecha Breaker.
Yeah, right now, last night we were up to me and Lee, we game every night, like all freaking night. You know it. I text you in the morning as you're leaving for work.
I'm too old to hang with you guys.
So we've been playing Mecha Break, V Rising, and No Man's Sky. And then on the handhelds, I started playing what was that one? Dying Hand or something, that the shooter.
Oh yeah, game of
did
the
you
week.
sidearms? Sidearms died.
Sidearms.
Yeah,
sidearms.
Dying.
Hein or something.
Something like that,
some
yeah.
obscure title, but
Yeah,
I
it's a
started
TurboGrafx
that.
16 game. Yeah,
Yep, I started that on the 34XXSP yesterday.
that game is ruthless, man. I played it, and I love the side shooters. After like 10 minutes, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm gonna
Side-
go.
I'm gonna beat it
Sidearms
because I'm gonna
keep
save
her
state
dying.
every time. Save state.
Oh my god, yeah, but I hit a safe state every 3 seconds in order to get through, man. What about you, Selfish? You gaming? You playing anything right now?
I don't have a lot of time to game, but I finally started, and I know it's going to sound dumb because I think it came out in like 2016, Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh no, it's so good. Oh, I love it.
Started that like
Yeah.
a couple days ago, and I'm maybe like 4 hours into it, but
Yeah.
I like it. It's pretty cool.
I love the Horizon games. They're kind of like this generation's Lara Croft. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love them.
I kind of think
just-
it's like it's more like Monster Hunter, which I'm never really into, but I think that it kind of reminds me more of Monster Hunter than it does of Tomb Raider. But
unpopular opinion. I've never really been into Monster Hunter, man.
I'm not either.
Most people-
But like I like this game, but it's
Oh
like
my god! See?
It's too much for these guys.
Yeah, I'm just yeah. It's too many mechanics, man.
there's literally
Go
Go
back.
out of here.
weapon, send me into a field and tell me what I gotta hit, and I'm good. But if I gotta like think about like casting spells or like creating like my own weapons, then I get, I get a little lost even in New Horizon. But it's not that bad. Like it's not as bad as like Monster Hunter. Like I said, it's kind of like a watered down version of Monster Hunter.
I get that.
I
man.
enjoy
dig it.
Monster Hunter. I also enjoy Horizon. Great games, great titles.
Yeah,
I like
they're fantastic.
any big open game where I get to explore and I have some kind of power that I can keep on growing. And I love those games, man. I get lost. I spend so much time in them. Right now I'm playing also too, I guess. I only name the ones I've been playing with friends, but I'm also playing, and I'm kind of late to this one, Hogwarts Legacy.
It looks pretty
It's
cool.
fun, man. It's huge, man. That's a huge game.
I bought that game at release, and I still have never played it.
Right. So what's funny is that, and Too Loud is not a Harry Potter nerd. I am a Harry Potter nerd.
No.
And it's awesome when you can see somebody who obviously has terrible taste and doesn't like Harry Potter to enjoy a game like that. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I find, and I'm not trying to go there, but a lot of times I find people like that typically like crappy beans, like black beans and stuff like that, and just got bad taste and stuff like that.
I think. Listen, hold on, wait a minute, bro. And let me pause you for 1 second because I think in the tally we're like 28-0.
Yeah.
It's all rigged. It's
You
all
have
rigged.
nobody on
Really
your side
bad.
with this, dude. You're alone.
Yeah.
It's rigged.
You're
You guys
absolutely alone.
are setting it up.
I mean, I know it's in the Harry Potter world, but I think it's more like Fantastic Beasts genre because isn't it like 100 years before Harry Potter?
I don't know where I thought Fantastic Beasts fell in. Oh yeah, it is before Harry Potter because they carry around the Fantastic Beasts book the whole time.
Yeah,
right. And
yeah.
Fantastic Beasts is like a development of Grindelwald and oh my god, what's the wizard's name? The good wizard. The
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Sorry.
See, y'all are
Blank,
going down that nerd hole too far, bro. I don't know. I don't know who these guys are.
Speaking of nerd stuff, I want to talk to Selfish. I want to know what he's got going on. So let's bang through the news real quick, and then just kind of so we can put some focus on him because
Word.
you guys don't know and you haven't seen him, and we'll put it in the notes. Selfish has got a great YouTube channel. He's just got this.
Amazing.
He's right up our alley, right? Because I mean, 1 second he's talking about reviewing, another second he's tearing the device apart and swapping parts off. I never forget watching him when he modded this RGB30 and he put the red decals on it and he put Hall sticks on it. And I love that kind of stuff, right? So I want to spend some time talking to him with that kind of stuff and just kind of get into it and see what you guys are going on. And also, so some of you that don't know, Selfish might be the closest thing that I know of as a rival for collecting handhelds to Lee. I mean, we talk about Lee having handhelds to the ceiling. I think Selfish might be close by. So I feel like that's something we need to address. But before we do that,
yeah, somebody call A&E. Somebody call A&E.
Call an A&E.
Let's get some intervention. Let's get some intervention going.
Oh my gosh.
I will say on a side note, really quick, because Matt, you mentioned it with Selfish and his just modding out handhelds and stuff. That's how I first found Selfish myself. Because I enjoy doing it, and I used to do it a lot more on my channel. Now I even as a content creator, sometimes I just forget to turn on the camera. Like I'm so into what I'm doing, and I'm like I said when I started my channel, it's like it wasn't really about creating content as it was for like just sharing what I'm doing. Like I do this stuff not just for content. I do this stuff on a regular basis. So like a lot of times I forget to turn on my camera and I sit here and tinker and tear stuff up and like, but that's how I found Selfish, just because like he's into that same kind of stuff like me. One of the first things I do when I get a device is open it up and figure out what makes it tick, right? So see if I can swap out joysticks, see if I can change out membranes, see what I can do to make it a little bit better.
I've been going more advanced these days. I've been trying to increase the RAM in handhelds now.
Well, you're insane. Yeah. Everyone knows you're insane. Yeah, that could be part of it. So I'm similar to your thought on Selfish. So I love to tinker with everything. We all do, right? And I came across Selfish because most of us all met on as part of a Discord that we're all part of called Retro City, and Selfish was just on there all the time. And I seen him, and somebody mentioned something about one of his pages, and I checked it, and I'm like, this dude is my kind of geek. This is my kind of geek, and I started watching stuff, and I love it. I mean, because he's got the right pace, and I know you had said some stuff about people saying you talk too fast. I think your pace is perfect, man. I love it, man. It keeps me going. You get to the point and you cover a lot. So I dig it.
His pace is great. Just don't turn it up to 2 times. You turn it up to 2 times, it's over. It's like, I think Selfish said it in his community post. It's like a Cialis commercial. Like,
Cialis commercial. It tells you everything can go wrong if you take Cialis. That's apparently what I sound like if you double the speed. So.
Oh my god. So let's. Oh, did I ask Selfish? What are you playing? Are you gaming right now?
Here.
Yeah, he's playing Horizon.
I'm playing Horizon.
Oh, that's right. You saying Horizon, and Lee, and you're playing that. For me, I am playing right now. So we did the video about the favorite androids, and I got back into Death's Door, and that game is just a time sink. You jump into it, and it's just you're immersed in it. So
you put me onto that one. You put me onto that one, and I was
I downloaded it also.
Yeah, it's still one of my favorite Android games. All right, so big news. You want to put that up?
Yep,
let's pop that up there. So how freaking exciting is this? So we had all talked about this before about how the HX370, that's the new AMD chip, and how it was an improvement. It wasn't a huge improvement for handhelds, and we had said, well, what happens if they take the AI Max, the 395, which is the chipset that's in the Asus Flow tab, the Flow 13 tab, which is like what, a $2,400 tablet. And then GPD is talking about putting one in a Win 5. Holy cow. I haven't seen pictures, but these benchmarks leaked. I mean, this is insane. I mean, I have concerns, obviously, like I had a Win 4. Go ahead.
How do you keep it cool?
Yeah, that was where I was going.
I think that's the biggest. That's the big.
We talked about this a lot, and me, Selfish, or me, Too Loud, and Jetta have been going back and forth with this. I think that they have to get rid of the keyboard and use that space to build a better active cooling system. Like I mean, the keyboard is cool and all, but get rid of it. I don't think very many
My
people use
take
it.
on it is that I'm really shocked that their first venture into trying an HX395 was their smallest device, right?
Right.
Is that nuts?
Very,
Right?
very
Is that
interesting,
nuts?
right? Like
Go
I,
bigger.
I was like, why not the Win Max, right? Like, why not let's get it going in the Win Max and then see what we can do from there? Because with the Win Max, you have a lot more space for active cooling, and this GPD Win 4 and 5, these things are like fatter PS Vitas, like. Man, there's a small footprint.
Like if you can
What
make
was
it
that,
work,
Selfish?
if you can make it work
Yeah.
in that, you can work in any handheld that's out there. And so if you want to do
that's
a
true.
and you want to be first, it probably has sucked, but at least they'll be first to market, and they'll be the ones that kind of brought it to everybody else. And so that we're talking about it, right? So obviously it's the right thing to do. I guess that's
Yeah,
how
I agree. So my thought too is that I was thinking Win Mini, because Win Max then at that point it's just a laptop, right? But Win Mini is more of a portable gaming handheld. I think the Win 5 is going to be is man. I had a Win 4, and my only gripe about it is that thing was like a jet engine when it was trying to call off the
Yeah.
7840U. Like, what is it going to do with 395? So, and something that Azil
You're
just
taking it
said,
up to a different dimension.
yeah,
bro.
right. And something that Azil just said that made me think about something else in the past. He had mentioned about the RG slide, about the heat dissipation, and some devices dissipate heat to the screen. So
Yeah.
is that the same concern you're thinking with the removing the keyboard and putting the screen on right on top to help dissipate the heat, or what's your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, I know some people really like the keyboard idea, but Windows has the integrated keyboard. Most x86 devices don't even have physical keyboards, and they're pretty popular. I mean, look at the Steam Deck, no keyboard,
That's a great
super
point. Yeah.
popular.
out of Windows.
So, yeah, just get rid of it. That gives you extra space to build a better active cooling system. So, like, go in there with 3-4 copper pipes. You're probably gonna have to put in a bigger fin, probably a bigger fan. But this also gives you the extra space to incorporate a larger battery, because the GPD Win, that they're using, it doesn't have the biggest battery. So you can put a little thicker battery in there too. And yeah, you probably could get some of that heat to dissipate through the screen, because I mean, most of the times these handhelds are built where they have the screen right on top of the motherboard or the PCB, so that the heat can kind of just dissipate through the top of the screen, because the screen's already getting hot. It already does that. So I mean, you could get rid of some of the heat there. With a 395, I don't know if the screen will help very much, but they will definitely have to build a new cooling system.
Liquid cooled.
That's something I had not even considered, really, right? It's like all this hype, and we're so excited for it, but at the same time we're concerned with heat management. Man, how is battery life on the HX395? Because
they're gonna need a bigger battery.
Right? I feel like that thing is gonna just consume battery, because the HX370s, I mean, they're pretty efficient, but they chew through a 50-watt-hour battery. Like, they'll chew through that battery. So imagine you're running a higher clock rate on a bigger chip. Like, this thing is probably going to consume power like it's nobody's business, bro.
With my F1 Pro with a 50-watt-hour battery, if I'm playing Dune at like 900p, hour and 20, hour and a half, at best, and that's
and that's with OLED displays, which are saving you battery compared to an LCD, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, dude. One thing I do want to touch on really quick that I thought was really, really cool. Like, if you look into this image with this prototype, they're prototyping it in a GPD Win 4 without the hinge mechanism, right? And what I thought was really cool, but I'm a sucker for this, is that the whole thing's transparent, man. That thing looks pretty fly. If they could release like a limited run of like full transparent D-pad, transparent joystick, everything's transparent on it.
It's funny. I was looking for this image earlier, and it's right in front of my face. I did not dawn on me that it was so transparent. I'm like, "Where's that image that you had?" It's right in front of my face.
Yeah, this is it. This is it right here. Yeah.
So
and
I'm curious of the price point, because so right now there's a couple laptops we know about, the Flow Z13, that I think the starting price point, I think, is like $2,100 or something, right? Like, and then GMK Tech has it's like the X2 or something. It's got that chipset in it. It's a mini PC, and it's like $1,500. So what is GPD? What are we looking at in the price point?
I mean,
This is gonna be their top. This is gonna be their top dog, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is gonna be their meat and potatoes. This is $2,000, bro.
I mean, we got HX 370s coming out. What 32 gigs? I think they're like starting 1700, 1500
Yeah.
that range.
What's the
Some of them-
IMEO 3 not on Indiegogo? I think it's $1,600 for an HX 370 with 32 gigs and 1 terabyte.
Yeah,
So,
so
Cheapest
we're
I've
thinking
seen is
around there.
the Zoe A1X. That's the cheapest I've seen. I think it's starting at like $1339 or something, and that's for the lower model of the HX 370. I think that's at least.
and is
expensive
that
one.
a early adopter price? Like, is it gonna
Yes,
kick up from
yes.
there?
It's gonna. I think it's gonna jump up to 15 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's probably gonna be pricey unless they pull some like magic that like Retroid did with or Ian did with the Snapdragons, like got them dirt cheap or something, and we're selling devices like way under cost.
think
I
in
don't
that
see how
case,
this
though,
will
it
be
would have to be
cheap.
partnership with AMD. Like they would have to have some sort of like actual partnership with the manufacturer of the chipsets.
Yeah,
That's what Retro did.
I don't know. I think in this in Retroid handheld gaming and just handheld gaming in general, we're just gonna see these things go up and up. I mean, it as the tech gets better, it just gets more expensive. Just
That's the
it
unfortunate-
what
Oh, yeah.
it is what it is.
The whole reason why the R36 is so popular because everything else is getting more expensive. You know, everything else started there and didn't it was all kind of janky, and then the R36 is there now where everybody else was, 2 years ago. So it's
We lost Beauregard.
it's all
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a great point. I mean, that's kind of the reason why that R36 was so successful because the price didn't go higher. And we talked about this. I think it was yesterday, right? It didn't go
Yeah.
higher, and there's so much that can be accomplished with it. So it's definitely. I'm curious to see. I mean, it's you're always going to have your Azios and your selfishes that are going to buy that thing, right? Because I'm assuming both of you are going to be waiting in line to put your hands on that. I'm not gonna lie, there might be a Jedi or two right in line behind you to buy that thing.
I mean, at $395, it depends on what they do with it.
Right.
Like if it comes out with a keyboard with a 45 watt hour battery and a fan the size of like the middle of my palm, I'll probably pass until someone else develops something better. But
Right.
from what GPD is saying, I mean, these are all alleged rumors, but supposedly they are coming out with a brand new design for this device. So
They did say that, so we'll see.
yes,
What that looks
so I hope. I mean, most of these companies really know what they're doing. They can squeeze a lot into these little devices. I mean, it's crazy how much of the space they can use without really losing anything. So, like I said, if it comes with a sliding keyboard, I already know it probably doesn't have the efficiency to cool that thing off. Like, I'll probably just pass.
like.
I'd like
See
to-
what happens.
Like some liquid type cooling of some sort. I think we might be able to get away with it, but it'd be really even more expensive.
Yeah.
On their website, which I've never even noticed this on their site before, they post their own rumors about their company, about their handhelds that are coming out. Like, why
Oh,
would
really?
No way, do they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
GPT-5 Win 5 rumors? That's literally what I'm looking at right now on their website. And
Oh, that's pretty dope.
I mean, that's good. They want to be transparent, right? So they just want to come and say, like, hey, yeah, we're making it.
transparent, just like the handheld in that picture right there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
see that's
no.
that's really cool. I mean, obviously they probably went with the transparent because it's just easier to mass produce those shells so that they can keep testing. I bet you $100 those things are melting, so they're probably replacing them over and over again.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're probably testing them without a back on them or something else like that.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. There's they probably got some kind of crazy heat sink sitting on the back that we can probably see right now. They're probably trying to get those like really good stress test numbers to see how far they can push it before it starts giving out. So I know we're in the early stages. I'd be surprised if we see this in the next month. I'm thinking this is still like a couple of months out, maybe 3-4 months out.
This would be holiday. This would be like
Yeah.
October, probably October-ish, probably October, November.
For sure. And I'm wondering if anyone will beat them to the punch. Like I mean, I'm sure the other companies are seeing it, and Neo, and you got a 1X player, and they don't just sit around idling by. I mean, they all share probably the same factory, so they're probably thinking the exact same thing right now.
They're benchmarking right next to each other, looking over their shoulders.
Yeah, right. Yeah, copying each
That's
other's work.
hilarious. That's
That is
hilarious.
And then it's a race.
It's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Sabotage each other's work, right? Like
One of them releases a screen, and the next one releases that same screen on something else, and you're like, well, they obviously purchased those together. That's the only way they were going to get them within that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Exactly.
I'm here for it. I don't care how they do it. I'm here for it.
Competition's good. I think we need more of it in this kind of area.
Oh
but-
yeah, for sure.
but it's good
For sure.
Speaking
I'm
of
still waiting for Retroid to come out with their X86. You heard us,
God,
Retroid?
get outta here. Speaking of x86 and competition, so the device that we heard was not going to come out now.
Is coming
I heard
out.
that this wasn't.
Oh my god!
You guys brought this up because Steam's had this forever. They've had this at Valve. So like you guys had said that yesterday or whatever, that you heard this wasn't coming out. I haven't heard at all that this wasn't coming out. I've the whole time been doing it.
Do you remember when they first announced it? It was supposed to be an Android device.
No, it wasn't going to be Android.
I heard the first
two. They had two, an x86
two
and
models.
an Android.
Okay, I thought it was the other one. Okay, all right.
Okay.
But they canceled the
Sorry,
Android.
the
one,
Android
right?
version.
Yeah, they had both of them, but this device has been on hiatus for like a year. Like
Yeah.
it just went silent. And so that's why people were like, oh, this is vaporware. Like it doesn't exist. And then we saw one show up in the RH Discord. And that's where all of the rumors are like, hey, this is supposedly the only one. There's not going to be any others. This is just a test unit. But then, truth behold, they come out and are like, hey, we're still here. And we're still going to spit this thing out.
Bro, I'm excited. I'm here
So-
for it. I'm excited, dude. I think
kinda
it's
think the
really
Manjaro
attractive.
announcement was at Christmas. I'm looking right now, but let's see. Okay, I'm losing. I can't find it. Never mind. But I think it was right around Christmas time that they made that announcement. So it wasn't like it was. I mean, it was 6 months ago, but it wasn't. They had just gotten their hands on it, and it was going to be this big partnership. But yeah, then it did
Right.
kind of appear for a while. You've seen it on Chinese websites a little bit though, like the Chinese Discord type stuff. You've seen it kind of pop
Yeah.
up. But yeah,
I mean, price point wise and power wise, I mean, I think they're going to
Can't
make
beat
waves. Yeah, they are going to
You
make waves for entry.
8840U with 32 gigs of RAM for $550.
And those Steam
Yeah.
mouse pads.
The touchpad,
Oh man.
holy cow! I mean, and
I'm
this
here
is
for
a
it. As
6-inch
long as
screen.
like build quality is there, right? Like
Uh-huh.
as long as the build is good, I really like the aesthetic of this device. Like,
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
It gives me INEO Pocket S vibes. It gives me INEO Pocket S with touchpads because it looks very flat on the front. I mean, hopefully we get some little humps in for ergonomics, but it looks very, very aesthetically pleasing. Just that full flat surface, like one unified piece across the front. It looks really, really nice, and especially at that price point, dude. I mean, what other 8840 device are we seeing coming with 32 gigs of RAM at
We're
$550?
not.
Yeah,
Like,
we're not. That's the
not.
thing.
but you're not
We're
paying
not.
for
We're seeing
makes a big
that
difference.
price point. We're still seeing 6800s and 7840U with 16 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
I mean, even a 7840U with 16 gigs and at $450, that's an insane deal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cheaper than you can get the Legion Go now. Legion and Lenovo just dropped their price to $500. That's insane. And there's a model that's 8840U with 32 in a terabyte. Holy cow!
I
Oh,
mean,
and
we see
Manjaro.
these we see these prices for used devices in these
Yeah, man.
these SoCs. So like they drop into the used market like all the time at these prices. So getting something new like that with touchpads, I mean,
Yeah.
sold.
Now I'm curious, like, what are we gonna see these go for in the secondhand market, right? Like,
Oh my gosh!
holy crap!
I think-
are we
I
gonna be
think
picking
it's
up
gonna be-
8840 used for $300. Like,
No, I think
Mhm.
it's going to be like Steam Deck, man. When Steam Decks first
gonna
came
hold
out,
value?
they had a very small marginal drop because they were just so high in demand, and like they were just really popular because they were super convenient. They were comfortable. Everyone liked the controls. Everyone loved Steam OS, and I think this is going to fall in that same area. Like you're going to see
can see that being a factor, especially with like official support and everything. Like, I could definitely.
I would think that this would be a little bit more under the radar than the Steam Deck. Like you guys said, everybody kind of forgot about it. So I just looked. On the Manjaro developer page, February 11th, 2024, they were interviewed about the Orange Pi, and they said it would be feasible to have it in production by Q3 2025.
So they're almost right on mark.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, yeah, they did, but they did kind of disappear, but they really didn't. I mean, they're still right on pace for where they were.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, I also want to mention really quick. I did see in their Reddit that the first production batch will be a minimum of 5,000 units. So I don't think these things are going to be very scarce. I mean, 5,000 units for the planet, right? Like, China will eat up half of that most likely.
Yeah, this is the hard part, right? So like, is the 5,000 units going to be the only units they make, or is that just going to be the first batch? It's really hard. And when you're thinking like, I think I want it, but I also want it with the least amount of issues. So I usually try to go in to devices like in the second batch when they got some of the quirks worked out. But this device, you got to wonder, is the first batch the only batch, or is there going to be a second batch? So you're kind of just in the air.
Be the next Loki. It's gonna appear and
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's tough, and when you want stuff like this, you kind of just lean back and forth. You're just like, do I want to pre-order right off the bat, or are they gonna have more and then pre-order later, or buy it straight out? These questions are always really difficult.
Well, if you're going to make 5,000 to something and you don't have a base for it yet, my assumption would be that they're probably got in with a market like Best Buy or Amazon or something to do some kind of deal.
That would be really cool. To be able to pick up at Best Buy.
Yeah, I mean, Best Buy amazing up right now, so it would be a good move probably for both of them, and it would undercut everything else that Best Buy carries. So if they have something like that set up, then I could see them easily making more than one batch. Now, if they're just going to throw a bunch of money at it and they have unlimited funds and they're going to make 5,000 of them, then it could be the Loki all over again, where you get the wrong one, not the one you ordered, or you don't get it at all. Or there's still people waiting for Lokis, I think. So it's kind of a crapshoot there, I guess. But I would assume that they have a retailer. That would be my assumption. 5,000 is a pretty big number. That's a lot of weight to put behind something like this.
Not only that, I think Steam is behind them on this too, aren't they? Because they did say that they just sent out to get authorization from Steam to have Steam OS on it. So
here's my question to it. So we see the specs; they're right on par with all the other 7-inch units that we've seen over the last year. The x86s, Hall triggers, Hall sticks, RGBs, Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 6. So the stuff we want to see. What's the interesting thing here is that we're looking at Manjaro, right? So we've seen them in Steam OS. We've seen Bazite. Everybody that watches knows that I'm the good looking one. You guys are the brain. So break this down for us. What's this going to look like for gaming? Are we going to see, because they said they got Steam, but it's not going to be necessarily Steam OS thing. And in the picture here, we got an Xbox logo. So are we going to have access to Game Pass on Linux? That's been a challenge with some stuff in the past. So I'm curious where they're going to go with that. Are we going to have access to GOG? Are we going to, there's something that we're not going to see. What do you guys
probably think? The Xbox logo in the corner is that it's recognizing the control set Xbox controller. Okay. That's what I would assume that to be. I don't see Xbox Game Pass support being on Linux.
Also showing Steam, right? So they're running Steam with a game or the Xbox controller is what they're showing. But Linux, you can run all this stuff on Linux. You can run GOG. You can run obviously Steam. You can run pretty much everything on Linux if you want to work hard enough. I mean, it wouldn't take much to build like something else.
That's for, but out the box, you know what I mean? That's what I'd say a decent amount of users, like those users who are buying this from Best Buy, they're not they're not going to be tinkering with it. They're not going to be doing the junk store, or if that's what the option is, like we see on Steam Deck. They maybe I don't know, but typically, your everyday user from
No, I
Amazon
think
may not
I
be
think
doing
you're
that.
right. I think you're right. I think most users
I think that
want that fresh out of box experience where it's simplicity and they don't have to go through all this headache, and that's why we see console gamers still, right? And that's why everybody hasn't jumped on board PC, is that they don't want to go through all this updating through Windows, updating here, updating that, make sure the drivers are up to. They want something that it's literally always working. You get one update for the whole system, So I think that we'll see. Actually, really quick, because I just thought about it, and I think I mentioned this in the last episode. But when I was last using SteamOS on my Lego, it did mention inside of the software of Steam that your Epics and your GOGs and all of this stuff, that they were working on implementing an easier way for you to import your libraries without having to sideload or do all that stuff. So I know Steam is working on it, and I think, to be fair, right, like this whole Windows Xbox thing is actually probably lit a fire under Steam's butt, right?
I
Like
agree.
they're probably like in overtime, like trying to make it to where, like, hey, shoot, our store is gonna be included with the Windows Xbox side, and we're here like having to have everybody sideload. Like, I think it's gonna really get Steam moving. So
I mean, so yeah, is it running a different system, Manjaro? Yeah, but you got to remember that they're sending this in to get Steam's approval. I don't think Steam already thinks about the gamer in many aspects, right? They want to give them the ability to adjust settings and TDPs and things like that for those people that want to get tech savvy with it. But they also just want the grab and go capability too.
Right.
So I think when they send this off to Steam and Steam tests it, I don't think that they're going to let it go if they're like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to do some work to get everything to work, but yeah, it's great. I think Steam is gonna. I mean, they have their name on it, and they have to approve it, so they're getting the stamp of approval from Steam. So Steam's probably gonna say, "No, this thing's got to boot up and just play." Period. That's where we got to be at. And so I don't think that this will hit the market without it being able to just turn on, download a game, and start going. Will it have access to Steam Pass and GOG and everything? Possibly. It just depends on if you can get like a backend like the Steam OS allows you to do, kind of get into the browser, kind of desktop, like maybe like a virtual desktop of some sort. I mean, they'll probably let you have a web browser and stuff like that. So I would assume that you could just run Game Pass streaming through the browser. But right now, Xbox and Steam are kind of up in the air, right? Because Xbox has just incorporated Steam into their system. So that would mean Steam's probably doing the same thing on the other end, because there has to be an agreement for both of these companies to be able to use their stuff. So if Xbox like, hey, we want to be able to link to your guys' system, then Steam's probably turning around saying the same thing. It's like, hey, okay, well, we want to be able to play Xbox games too. So what do we do?
This is the thing. So this is my question with that, right? Is that, do they really need Steam's permission to bring Steam into the Xbox?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at GOG.
Like API key, and so like, because I think like, can Xbox not just add some sort of API key to import your library into the Xbox
it's more complicated than that. It is far more complicated than that. The ID gaming system for Steam is gigantic, and like they have an ID for every single game. But look at GOG's launcher, right? It was like Galaxy OS or something like that, right?
Yeah.
They, even to the end of their launcher, couldn't get Steam to work properly in their system because it's just too complex. It takes up too much time. And it's not like you can just get direct access. It's not like you can just go in there and be like, we're going to access your API. Steam's just way too big. They're not going to allow that just to happen. They're going to see that you're trying to access. So when
they would have to have some sort of agreement or licensing or something.
When
like
GOG
that, right?
did it, Steam was like, "Nah, we already have a launcher. Why do we want to be in your guys' launcher?" And then GOG was like, "Okay, well, we'll figure it out." And they're like, "Good luck." and it never actually really worked. I mean, like you got it kind of partially to work, but Steam's library would populate, but oh man, there was so many problems at the
I
beginning.
have noticed
of
with
the
my
launcher.
GOG library is that like for the Steam portion is always refreshing. Like it's
Yeah.
always it's constantly refreshing, and it's like I never can get all of my games to show up at the same time.
Yeah, it's always been a problem. If Steam doesn't watch you, they're not going to have you in there. So I mean, it's just that.
I have another question, really quick, actually. So I'm not that savvy with Linux. I'm a Windows like power user. I use the crap out of Windows. But as far as Linux, I'm a toddler, right? So, but my understanding is that at least I might be wrong. Is that these are all different distributions, right?
Right.
Made by different communities, but they have like the same groundwork or like the same I guess like bones, right? Like kernels and all this
Yes.
stuff. So like if wine works on one distro, wouldn't it work across all Linux distros? So like
Yeah, for sure.
basically
I mean,
implementing Steam into them would not be hard. If it works on one distro, it should work on many distros, if not all of them.
you would have to change some things. So like in terms of the skeletal structure of Linux software, they all look exactly the same, but in terms of what they use to display for GUIs and UIs and things like that, all of that changes between each one of them. So there might be some changes that have to be done. But if it works on Linux and they're running the same bit system, then yeah, it's not too hard to move SteamOS across all Linux operating systems. There will have to be some changes that will have to be done because there might be some drivers or something that just don't operate correctly in a different Linux form, and so that those are things that they would have to work on. And obviously we have a huge community, so community would probably get behind it and probably get it to work on every single Linux distro. I mean, they've gotten SteamOS to work on Android, they got it to work on Linux, they've got it to work through an APK. Like they just don't stop. They get it working everywhere. So it eventually would happen.
That's
thank
awesome.
you for that.
That is awesome.
So I think we give this one. I mean, it's pretty huge, and I know we're all excited about it. Let's go ahead and let's move on to this next subject because
I got
Wait,
one
go ahead.
Selfish, yeah.
Go ahead.
question about this. Why would they launch this with 6 SKUs? It's gonna
6 SKUs.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. There's a lot there,
There's-
man. That's a whole lot.
and everything from 16.512 all the way up to a 32 1 terabyte, and everything. And so it's gonna like if you have that many SKUs, you're gonna have a hard time.
I mean, you brought up a good point, but this is the only reason why I think that it's not going to hit like Best Buy or anything like that, because Best Buy likes streamlined consumer products. Like they want 1 or 2 products. They don't want their customers to come in and be wasting employees' time sitting here like, what's the difference between this one, this one, this one, this one, this one?
I agree
So-
with you.
Really,
I didn't realize there were 6 SKUs. I thought there was only 2.
really quick. I'll say that like when it comes to like the multiple SKUs like this, I mean it's kind of the same thing we see from like companies like Ioneo, right? Like Ioneo does the same thing. Like look at the Ioneo 3. The Ioneo 3 came in like 6 SKUs or more possibly, right? Look at the Pocket S2, multiple SKUs. Some of the SKUs are just a color change.
I think they hurt themselves by doing it.
I think Selfish has a good point with that. So there's 6 SKUs, right? And it's going to be harder for them. The same issue that I knew has to keep up with the demand. If you have 2 or 3 SKUs, then they can focus on that. But now they
No.
Wait,
You-
hold on.
No. You're giving Ioneo way too much credit there, bro. No.
So if they have 2 or 3 orders for the 16.512, the 7840U, they have to fill. That's time there, right? That's boards they have to fill. And I know I don't mean to give Ioneo some credit. It's just the trouble that Ioneo gets themselves to struggle. Look at Too Loud struggling with them now. He ordered their, their one of their best ones, and it's still.
That's the thing. Like, okay, so this all depends on manufacturing and distro. Okay, so if Orange Pi manufactures a large quantity of these and let them sit in a warehouse, they will stay ahead. That's the difference with Neo and all the other companies. They do the
that is true.
Indiegogos
That is true.
first, and then they fill orders. They don't
If they go into
manufacture
mass
them ahead
production,
of time.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's how they always get caught. And then they're like, "Oh, this stuff will always be around. We can always obtain it." And then look at what happened with the Neo 3. They couldn't get the 64 gig
64 gig,
the 64 gig boards, and
Or the
they had to
4 terabyte
message
SSD,
everybody.
right? Yeah.
And the worst part is they don't do anything for those people. Like, hey, we're sorry, but your unit is gonna be like 2 months delayed. Tough luck.
Like 2 months is generous, right?
Yeah.
2 months is really
Didn't
generous.
they tell you
So-
first it was a week too loud, and then like a few weeks later,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, be very long time, just wait. Or they said
Be
something
very,
like that.
yeah, it was just like that, like be very long time. Like,
Be very long time. They
told me
the same thing.
Yeah. So I will touch on this, and then let's move on from this. I will say, like, maybe, and this is gonna give them some credit, right? Like, maybe this is just the launch SKU system, right? Like maybe after a full launch, maybe they kind of cut it down, they dwindle it down to 2 or 3 SKUs. I still think it's really, really weird. You guys are absolutely correct, right? Like, why saturate it like this?
Really hard for
It's kind of really weird too. Also, to see like 32
Mhm.
gig models coming with 512s of storage.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a good point.
Really low storage amount when you're getting like a good fair bit of RAM.
Yeah, that's basically like just Call of Duty by itself.
Yeah.
That's one game. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
But
guess we'll have to see where this goes, and
Yeah, I mean,
But-
Selfish made a good point. They could be going to Best Buy. They might pick 2 SKUs just to send to Best Buy, but
Yeah,
Best Buy is
yeah,
not
that's
going
what
to
I'm
take all
thinking,
of these SKUs. They're definitely not.
Definitely not. No,
Yeah.
definitely. Maybe they'll pick their
Alright.
2 best-selling SKUs and send those out to Best Buy.
Try them.
But
Possible.
with that said, let's move on to the Mangry
Yeah.
Air X. I'm really excited. I know you guys are excited about this.
Oh
thing.
yeah, can't wait.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it gives and going back to who we just mentioned, and we
Look
know
at this
why, but it
design.
gives me
Look at
major
this design.
Ioneo vibes. Like it really
yeah.
does.
It's definitely
Yeah.
everything I've read says that it's kind of like the Retroid to AYN. It's the same purchasing company.
Oh,
Mm.
see, there you go. I mean, they're coming in at a $60 price point. I'm assuming we're going to see some shipping on top of that too. So I'm going to say $89.
Listen, we've talked about this gap in between the under $100 mark to the $200 mark. This is perfect, man. Even
Yeah.
if we get this thing for me, if we see this thing at 100, 120 bucks, I'm all in. I mean, it's got Hall effect triggers, it's got active cooling, it's got 6-axis gyro, it's got the latest build of Android on it. It's got it's gonna sound silly, it's got 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And there's a bunch of old guys like Selfish and stuff like that dig that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because he's still got to wear the big, studio headphones. And I get that, man. That's why we love Selfish, because he's unique and he's old. See? You see? So, but I mean, just it's got a 5.
Hey,
a
my boy
5,000
Jedi,
milliamp-
really quick. Hey, my boy Jedi lives in such a bubble. Like it's insane to me, right? Like the audacity
God.
for him to sit here and call Selfish old while he's over here with the racing stripes in the beard. Like
It's just, that's the camera. That's the camera, man.
Oh, is that the camera?
Oh,
my bad, bro. My
God.
bad. Okay.
Oh my god.
Everything this thing has is promising.
Yeah.
Oh
It-
my gosh.
I just really hope that they don't throw their own GUI over it. I mean, we see a lot of these Android devices where they slap their own stuff over the top of it.
I don't wanna see
Just
that.
ship it out with straight Android. Just
You got
straight
Android
Android. No
14,
bloat,
please.
You
nothing.
got a
Yeah,
Snapdragon 662, 4 gigs of RAM. Just roll with it. Just
Yeah.
roll with it.
Exactly.
I mean, the only thing that I will say that I would like them to include, and I do appreciate it that the other ones do include it, is like key mapping.
Key mapping would be great.
We need
Mhm.
that. We
Mhm.
desperately need that on Android. I
Mhm.
don't know why Android isn't picking up the torch on that and just including that with their stuff on their side. Because at this point, right, like a lot of people play games on Android. So like, why is this not a in-house feature of Android? But no, we did talk about this a while back. We've been talking about this for months, actually, Matt. With that whole $100 price point, like we were wondering, like when Anbernick or somebody else would come into that gap. Retroid did with the classic, which is phenomenal for $129. Super great product.
6 buttons.
You know, but some
yes.
I think Retroid has been trying to target this area for a while. I mean, they came out with the RP2S and it dominated this area for a long while. Like everybody, when it wasn't complaining about it. It was a great little device. I mean, it ran PS2 or PSP. Some people got GameCube on it. I would just call that a bonus. I mean, it wasn't like amazing GameCube, but you could play GameCube. This is packing probably a little more power overhead with that Snapdragon 662. Not only that, we're getting the better driver support through Snapdragon, and we got that 4 gigabytes. That's great. I think it's plenty for PSP. I think we're going to see the whole PSP library on
price
here.
Point, bro. For the price point, phenomenal, dude. If you score this thing for around $69, that's insane. I mean, that's a super early bird pricing, but even at the retail price of what, $83, like that's still great, dude. Like we're playing PSP on here, PS2, maybe not all of PS2's catalog, but you know, the portion of it. I think it's gonna be super solid, and it's gonna fill a price bracket that a lot of people find themselves in, right? Like a lot of people don't want to go and dip their foot into this retro emulation scene with a $300, $400, $500 handheld, right? Like a lot more people are comfortable with that $100 and under bracket. Like why do you, like Selfish mentioned earlier, why do you think this thing sold like astronomically? Freaking R36 blew out stores, man. Like it really did. Like there's probably more of these on the planet than any other retro handheld right now, because
Kitty would beg to differ. The RGB 20.
RGB 20 did not sell anywhere near as much as the R36S.
I'm gonna go with that guy.
TikTok would be beg to differ, man.
So right now, what do we have? We don't have in that price range. We have the classic.
The classic.
But no joysticks.
Can I give
no
you
joysticks?
No joysticks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an unpopular opinion here. I think they get rid of the 64 gig one and just say they have a $100 handheld, because you can't again fit anything on 64 gigs. That's gonna be your emulators and one Vita game, and you're fucked.
I don't know why. I don't know why they have this price pointing with a 120 gig micro SD card and 256 gig micro SD card. Like, go get your own micro SD cards unless they're putting something on them. I don't know why they're coming with those.
I could care less for the SD cards, and it should have been increases in onboard storage. I
agree.
I think it's eMMC, because if you look at the 64 gigs as eMMC, I could be wrong, but I think labeled on the bottom.
You're probably right. That's probably what
it might be eMMC, but we got to remember we're sitting at $69, so bumping up the eMMC might have pushed them out of their price point that they were trying to hit. So maybe they're just making up with it by giving you a really cheap micro SD card that's probably going to die in like a month.
And maybe this is just their initial entry, right? Maybe down the line we see a Magni Air X Pro or something like that, right? Where it's
it would be really cool.
Higher, because my thing with the 64 gigs is that some games don't allow you to move their data over to your SD card.
For sure.
You're gonna fill up that 64 really quick, because on Android there are a ton, like certain games will allow you to move their storage, their data storage, but a lot now won't allow you.
So you won't be able to move it. This is going to have spec storage. So on Android 14.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's true.
So you're going to be screwed there.
Yeah, I think that
you're stuck with the 64.
I'm going to pick this up, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be in my new PSP just run around machine. Like, I think it's going to be perfect.
Yeah,
I am too.
Yeah. And then you don't have to worry about ruining it, really. I mean, you hate to ruin a handheld, but some of the handhelds you got to baby a little bit more than others. And I feel like this one, as long as it's somewhat durable, you just throw it in your backpack. You don't have to worry about it. Throw it, wherever. And
you buy 4 of them, throw 3 in your closet. You're good to go for a few years.
That's only you, bro. That's only you.
That's you hoarders. That's you hoarders.
Yeah, man. So, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I love the price point where it's going to be. I think if it's the perfect niche. I like the classic a lot, but I'm a horizontal guy. I like having sticks. I like playing I'm like too loud. I'm in the same camp. I stretch everything, man. If I could get away with stretching a NES game, I would, man. So I prefer the horizontal widescreen 6:9. I can't do PSP on a on a horizontal like this without the widescreen. I can't get into it. So I think this is great, and the price point is insane. I mean, it's
Yeah.
there's nothing
Uh,
that's going to compete. And with the Stick 6.2, look what they did with the 865. Right? People thought it was a couple years old and there wasn't much to it.
I was one of those people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
and,
Another
oh, yeah,
thing-
that's right. That's where I got that from. I was watching Selfie's video the other day. He was talking about the 865. He talked about that. That was a reference, and he said, I didn't think they could do anything with it, and then he tore it up. I think this is going to be not a surprise, but it's going to be a banger this year.
Another thing that with the 16:9s is that like I've come to appreciate DS on these screens.
Side by
having the
side?
two
Yeah,
screens
man.
side by
Yeah,
side,
man.
yeah, and
Yeah,
being able
man.
to use my right thumb to touch or interact with the panel there. I've come to appreciate them. Like, yeah, I know the Magic X game,
X40,
right?
yeah.
And that thing's cool. That thing's really cool. But this to me, it gives
This has
you
got more horsepower.
it's just a lot more bang for your buck. I'm still all over the Magic X. It's super awesome device, right? I like the form factor. It gives me
It's quirky.
2DS cheese wedge vibes. But for me with this whole like I've always loved like the Switch Lite style handheld. The RP4, that type of style. And this one, it gives me that vibe. I don't really care. I mean, all these companies keep doing this DMG colorway, and I'm not the biggest fan. Shout out to Tech Dweeb. I know he loves them.
Either the colorway, I don't like it.
Yeah, and that's gorgeous.
What,
yeah, that
what
thing.
in the
See,
world
yeah.
is that?
The
Is
Switch
that a
Lite.
Switch?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, they
I've
look
never seen
almost
that
the
color
same.
before.
Look, while we're here, I mean, yes, okay, we all sign off on the fact that we're gonna get Magni Air X's. This is the perfect segue. Bring that back, Lee. Bring that back, and let's go ahead and we're gonna talk about our hoarders versus hoarders here, because I know both of you guys here have been collecting handhelds for quite some time. Firstly, I want to know some more deets on this thing you're holding up here, because it's gorgeous. I know what it is, but let's share with the audience.
This is a Switch Lite that I got from Sandy Co. From the Retro Handheld Discord, and this is running the OLED touchscreen. Not very many of them out there with touch capabilities. I know Taki did a lot of talk on it and said that he would get them all out, but not very many. And then they actually had the gold bezel matching color. That sold me. I was
That's
like,
pretty awesome, man.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it sold me,
Gorgeous.
and I was just like, I want it.
Do you know how many times I walked past this? I mean, the factory model, but the gold Switch Lite at Walmart, and thought to myself, like, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy. I don't need it, right? But I just saw that colorway, and I was like, God, it's gorgeous, dude.
We've
buy
all
it, right?
spent our time in a massive amount of the secret console emulation scene, and I spent a lot of time there trying to get it, like all the games in the library to work, and I was just like, you know what, I need a Switch Lite for those games I just can't get to work because I just want to play. I'm tired of tinkering with them, having 6 different apps and 20 different drivers just to get all my games to work. So I went on the hunt, and I ended up with Switch Lite. Yeah, everyone complains, battery life isn't great or anything. Oh well, like it's like an X86, and you get like 2-3 hours. Yay! But it's a great little device. I have fun playing it. Right now I'm playing Risk of Rain on it for Game of the Month. Runs great, fantastic. The OLED is beautiful. It's so crisp and clean. I got clear picture at night. It's fantastic. And not only that, even though Nintendo's giving us a run for our money right now with all the crap that's going on with them, they do make great devices. I mean, the buttons are quiet. The triggers are quiet. I can play it in bed all night. Wife doesn't wake up. It's like, can you just stop playing that damn thing because it's so loud and clicky?
I will agree with you. Nintendo makes really great products. They stand the test of time too. Like,
they do.
I have 20, 25-year-old handhelds from Nintendo that still boot up. They still run great. Have no issues with them. Really, really awesome. I mean, I can argue what they're doing right now is really anti-consumer. with their whole Switch 2. And I have a Switch 2, and I know many of us do. But I don't agree with. I bought it because I'm a fan of their first party games. I love what Nintendo does there in house. But at the same time, I'm not a fan of what they're doing with the banning of consoles and stuff. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to know. I want to know between you two, Selfish and Lee. So firstly, let me get over to Selfish. Selfish,
Sure.
how many handhelds do you think you currently own?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like 300 or 400. Not as many as I don't think I'm even close to catching up here. But I have a hard.
Wait, whoa! Did you say maybe 300 or 400?
Yeah, my problem is I just don't ever get rid of them unless I give them to
Crushed
somebody.
me.
I usually only give them away if I have a duplicate. And the whole reason why, to be fair,
I want to be like Selfish when I grow up. I want to be like Selfish when I grow up.
I keep them in case I want to put them in content. So like if I want to compare something, that's literally why I keep them. I don't know. That's what I tell
I'm
my.
gonna try that with my wife, dude. I'm gonna
That's what I
try
tell
that with my wife. Oh my gosh!
I could probably be in the same boat as Selfish, but Selfish is on a separate pedestal above me. I'm into the quirky, weird, funky looking handheld, so I spent a lot of money just obtaining just like a rare, one of a kind device where I could have probably got like 37 R36s for the same price.
That would be my point, Lee. Actually, was you probably. Even if you don't, I actually think you probably have more handhelds than me. But even if you don't, you have more expensive handhelds than I do because I really love buying these really crappy handhelds and seeing what I can get out of them.
Right.
That's a big part of my draw is like, okay, let's get like the least amount of power, and let's just see what we get out of it.
For sure. I'm on both sides. Like I have the so-called e-waste category, and then I got the high-end category also. So like I'm always back and forth. I mean, if someone comes out, I'm always surfing around the internet, always surfing around RH. And if someone's like, "Oh man, dude, I got PSP working on this thing that has like a 3226 in it," and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, let's go check it out." Yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely there too. But yeah, I just went north of 250 units with the last batch I got in. Actually, it's all sitting back there. I've been had time to organize all of it that's came in. But I haven't gotten a total count, but definitely went north of 250 now.
Yeah, I stopped. I know I have to be above 300. I had about a year and a half ago, I stopped counting it, and I was a little over 200 at the time.
Yeah, counting starts becoming tedious.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm boxing them up.
I'm surprised you guys don't have like a Google spreadsheet with like every device you have.
Did when I was like in the hundreds. Like I would update it and everything. What SD card was running, what OS I had on it at the time, and after a while, it just gets really tiring. Like
I can see.
Yeah,
I finally actually went through some of my older handhelds and started stealing SD cards out of them because I was buying.
I do that.
Handhelds. I'd buy him a new SD card. And I'm like, Jesus, like how much money am I going to spend? You spend more on the SD card than you do on the handheld, And so like I got this closet full of SD cards. So I finally started going back, and I went into a Mio Mini the other day. A Mio Mini Plus I pulled out of my closet a couple months ago, and it had a 1 terabyte SD card in it. Like
holy crap! Holy crap, dude!
I'm sure I was testing something, and that just happened to be the card that was sitting on my desk or something. But I put it in there, just never saw it again until I went back and looked for it. I'm like, Jesus, I was just wasting money back then on SD cards.
Oh yeah,
I remember about a year ago, me and you having a conversation, Selfish, and you were testing SD cards, trying to see like what was the best ones for your money, and you sent me a picture, and it was like a bucket full of SD cards, like so man, I can't even count them.
I counted over. I tested over 100 of them that I bought off of AliExpress and Amazon.
Wow.
And, the problem was, so I got through all this, right? And I was going to publish this for everybody so they knew what to buy and not to buy. But by the time I got done with it, everything was rebranded, and I was buying the same cards again. And, if you put them underneath the microscope, you can see the ID numbers were the same. So I was buying, but they were branded something else. And so then
goodness, dude.
Then the confusion came in, and I was like, well, there's no point because nobody's going to be able to look at this, to find out if it's this. You can't see that ahead of time. So
that sucks to put in so much effort into a project like that, and then that happened, right? Like,
the bigger cards too, like, right? So they take days sometimes to run through testing. If you ever try to test an SD card,
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah.
like 256 gigabytes. It takes days.
Oh yeah, every sector. Oh man, I think I ran one for a 512, and I think it was like 5 days to go
Yeah,
through
it takes-
every single sector.
Yep. Yeah, it takes forever. And then
Yeah.
so like I just had one computer that's all it was doing for months was running. It'd finish one and
That's
another one.
insane.
And
That's commitment. That's commitment, dude. Hey, also too, while we're here, really quick, selfish. I know me and the guys here. We wanted to congratulate you on 5,000, crossing 5,000.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. That's
super,
awesome.
super
Yeah, for
amazing,
real.
dude. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
and it
and
didn't
by
come without
watching,
effort, bro.
go
You put a
subscribe to
ton of
him.
work.
what's that?
Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
those watching, like Lee said, go give Selfish a sub if you have not subbed.
Yeah, he makes
already.
great content.
Well, thank you guys.
He
I appreciate
really does.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's at Selfish, but it's Retrospect. You can look at either one.
Yep, and I'll have it in the description. We'll have it in the description below the podcast for those.
He has a
looking
really good
for it.
website too. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure
He
put
does.
that in
I will
there,
link
too.
that too.
It's
Actually, I will
great
also
news and
link
stuff.
the website.
And you know
Yeah.
what I do like? I make it fun of him, but his website has links to a lot of cool stuff. Like in his website, he had this CFW custom firmware links to all the different ones. And I found stuff that I didn't even know existed when I was checking out his website one time. There was like CFWs, and I'm like, that's cool. So I really dug that. Something you said that funny as a funny anecdote, talking about the SD cards. Probably a year ago, somebody, Tula Tech, convinced me to buy this 1 terabyte card from AliExpress, a Xiaomi. Is his computer froze, so it's perfect timing. Some Xiaomi or something like that. It was like $1.75 shipped, right?
Yeah.
And I spent like
That
a
sounds
week
sweet.
doing it. Yeah, I spent like a week running a test on it, and it just kept failing. Like after like 6 days, and like an idiot ran the test. After like 3 weeks, I just kind of snapped it and threw it in the garbage. It was like, yeah.
All right, now that I let you
Thanks,
get that
Tula.
out, I do. Now that I let you get that out, I do want to clarify. I did not tell him to buy this SD card. I told
Yes,
him, "What
you
are you
did.
doing
Yes, you did.
buying SD cards from AliExpress?
Yes, you
it doesn't matter what brand it says on it. It has not affiliated at all. Most of those cards are like you'll see the same exact card marked me and then marked 64 and then marked freaking SanDisk. Like it doesn't matter. Like most of them are knockoff fake cards. But
No,
yeah,
the one
I'll
was
take
it
that
said
one.
Sam. It said Sam Disc, not Sam
Sam.
Disc. It
Yeah,
said
they're
Sam Disc,
always
Yes.
spelled.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
that's why I say
really
sounds
should
to
get
me.
into that. I should get into SD card manufacturing. I could buy them for pennies on the dollar from AliExpress, and I could just get a printer to print SanDisk or SamDisk or Samsung on it or something, and I could
my
probably make
God.
a killing.
For the box.
Hey, really quick, I guess we got a little bit of breaking news here.
Yeah.
The MSI Claw, or Matt, you
Yeah.
go ahead because I know this is your bag of chips here.
Okay, so you guys all know that I love the MSI Claw 8AI Plus. So
Yeah, that's why he traded it for a 1X Fly.
Yeah.
Listen, how do we disconnect him?
Yeah,
So I'm really excited about the MSI Claw A8, which is going to be the Z2 Go version, and it comes in these sick, awesome colors, and I am super excited about
God,
it.
I
So
love that slimy one. dude.
pre-orders just
I
went
love
live
it.
today in Asia, Cambodia specifically. So I have some reservations because I'm stuck on this thing. Why do they keep setting these guys with 24 gigs of RAM? I know there's got to be something with power
Sweet spot.
efficiency or something like that. It's a sweet spot for them, but I just wish it was 32 gigs. Like the 8AI Plus was 32 gigs. You know what I mean? So, but it's got to be something to do with what they're setting up with these chips that they're, the Z1 and the Z2 and stuff. So, but that green is calling me, man. I just can't wait till this thing comes for sale here. This is the day one sitting up all night waiting for the pre-orders to go live for me. I'm definitely gonna get this bad boy.
And how long before you trade
What are the rest of the
You know what?
specs
How do we
behind this
kick
device,
Selfish
man?
out too? How do we kick Selfish out too? So this is gonna be the
We're
Z2 Go,
not kicking our guest out.
the Z2 Extreme. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
I'm gonna wait because there was a picture. I think it was one at one of the Consumer Electronics shows or something, and they had a wall full of different colors. So now I'm wondering, did they just decide to go with green because it was the most popular at CES?
They had green,
or
they had green, they had a white, they had a purple.
Yeah. They had a blue, like a baby blue.
They had a baby
the
blue.
baby
It was
blue.
nice. Yeah,
But this is what I don't understand. Like this would be so easy. You sell the white one and you have interchangeable front end plates. Like
and you
sell
sell them for cheap.
Yeah,
$10.
yeah. And then all the units are white. It's easier for the consumer. They just walk in, they pick up the box, and then they go over to the side, and then you just got a wall of colors, and you just pick a color, and you just slap the plate on. The end.
For the customer that they make skins for.
Yeah, I mean they do make skins. Yeah.
I skin my X86 handheld, so I get it. But
I would skin mine, but they're like usually limited edition, so they already look really good.
So.
Yeah, so we're looking at a Z2 Extreme with this one, which is the follow-up to the Z1 Extreme. This is the new chipset, which is based on the HX370 architecture. We're looking at 24 gigs of RAM, 8-inch. I think it's the same display, so it'll be 8-inch, 140 hertz VRR display, 80 watt-hour battery.
ISP.
A little bit new, and a little bit new ergonomics on it. It's not OLED. It'll be a little bit different ergonomics. Most of the stuff is similar. The D-pad looks like the same as the AI Plus, and the buttons and the sticks are the same. I think they were Hall effect triggers on the last one, so I think they'll be the same here. I'm down. I'm 100% down. So as Lee said, I did trade I did trade mine away for the F1 Pro because I wanted the HX370, and I kind of miss my MSI Core AI Plus. I like the HX370 a little bit, but I got used to just that screen. I didn't think it would matter that much, but going from a 7 to an 8 and then back to a 7, even though it's OLED, I kind of miss it a little bit sometimes. So
when your eyes start getting really bad, yeah, that happens.
Happens with age.
What's up with the old jokes, man?
Internet issues, so I'm back.
No worries. Well, you missed all the good stuff. So real quick, Selfish. So I know he showed that Switch Lite. Do you have an oddball device that you just love, that you just that you like to show off? Or
similar, you can see it in all my videos, but I have a Switch modified hard modded Switch OLED that I use for playing my Switch games. I can't.
Is that your go-to, or is that just the one that's an oddball that you like, or what's your go-to?
It's when I play the most, probably, just because it's right in front of me all day long. As far as like if I can't emulate it, I prefer to emulate it if I can. I mean, honestly, even with the modded Switch OLED, you can play the games better than you can on my regular Switch OLED, because I've got both, and you can screw around with them and get them to play better. So I prefer to play if I'm going to play Switch. As far as like really weird devices, though, like I don't know. I have a couple tablets I really like that are just kind of weak, but they're kind of fun. That I play on a lot. I have I don't know. I got a lot of stuff. I'm looking around. I'm like, I have like 10 tablets sitting right next to me right now, and I'm like, I don't even know which one to pick, but I do like
O2 Mini for me. It sits right by my bedstand. It has standed the test of time. I know people complain about the battery life all the time. I really don't care. It's small, compact. It does everything I want it to do. The screen looks great. The buttons feel good. It has permanently gotten a place next to my nightstand. It just has. I mean, I have all the other ones. I have the Evo. I have the Odin 2. You know, I got all those big bulky boys, but when I just want to lay in bed and not worry about something smashing my face at night because I fall asleep, it's the O2 Mini.
So I have the G Cloud. I've got a couple of them, but I have one that's under my desk and I have one that's on my nightstand. And that has been my nightstand machine since the day it released. And
I just saw your video about. I can't believe they're still doing updates for that. And these updates are substantial, man.
Yeah.
If you guys don't see and you're not following, you need to check out his channel because he covers really cool stuff like that. And Logitech just did a new update for the G Cloud, and it's significant. Like, it's not like they're just fixing a game or something like that. So I get that, man. It kind of made me want to get another one, but I have a somewhere downstairs is an Absolute, and I have my Portal, so I kind of don't have it. I don't need a streaming device, but yeah.
I loved the G Cloud when it came out. Bought one, and streaming on it is fantastic. Like it has 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi inside of it, and most people are like, "Oh man, that's not enough for streaming." It destroys streaming. Like I go and I can play any game streamed to the G Cloud, and I have 0 drops, 0 lag, 0 jitters. Like I don't know what kind of wizardry, magic, voodoo they did inside of that machine. It just works. That's it. It just works.
You know,
But
The G Cloud is one that I kind of missed the train on. I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, I think it came out really close to like the Steam Deck release.
same time. Exactly.
Yeah, right. And so
I think the
went
price point
on
killed
with
it,
Steam
really.
Deck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that was what it was for me back at that time. It's like, why would I buy this Logitech G Cloud so close in price to the lowest spec Steam Deck? And but over the years now, I mean, and it's been years. Like I hear nothing but good things about the G Cloud. Like everybody who's had and used the G Cloud loves it, and it makes me want to go ahead and pick one up now. Just to see like what's all the hype about, like, you know, and because I know a lot of people, and you know, you guys are in this space just like me, but we frequent a lot of handhelds. Like we get the pleasure to touch and mess with a ton of handhelds. So to see one like that that's been out for so long stand that test of time, where even creators who have tons and tons of devices are still going back and using their G Cloud, because I believe even Tech Dweeb released a video with like his top 3, and the G Cloud was in there. And I mean,
it's his nightstand device. He said that was his nightstand device. Yeah,
yeah. That to me, it's insane because look, we're sitting here with you guys, and you guys, Lee. I know you have probably over 260 in handhelds, and Selfish with over 300. Me and Jedi, we don't have that near that many. I tend to try to boil down my device collection every now and then, but I'm easy over 50 devices right now.
Yeah, my wife just doesn't let me buy that many. She would murder me.
Yeah. So I mean, I know we have quite a few, and man, it's hard to find some that stand the test of time like that. I do agree with Lee though, for the one that I have experienced, the O2 Mini. I really love that thing. I did also get rid of my O2 Mini, but I am going to be doubling back on it. As far as battery life, I'd never had an issue with battery life. I mean, yeah, is it like O2 Pro battery life? Like, no, it's not, you know, but as long as you're keeping that brightness at about 50%, and I think they say like 50% of the brightness on the O2 Mini is the equivalent of 100% brightness on O2 Pro. You know, you're gonna get basically the same battery life as an O2 Pro at that point. Even though I don't use mine at 50% because I like a little retina bleeding. So I max it out even if I'm in the darkest space. Like, I love the radiation in the eyes.
Yes, if you like.
So,
Yeah. My G Cloud used to sit under my bed, so like I have a drawer under the bed, and it had a permanent spot there. And I just recently moved it to the closet because I was constantly going to it when I had to play like Game of the Month or Game of the Week, because it just plays everything. It whatever you throw at it, it plays everything. It's comfy. The battery lasts forever.
Because it was too good.
Over a week.
I moved it because I kept on reaching for it, and I wanted to use other handhelds. Because you get locked onto one, and then you leave all the other ones in the closet. So I had to move it away where it was easily accessible, so that I could play with other devices that don't even see any time.
Never happens to me.
But if anyone's watching this, I will buy a blue or purple G Cloud. I know they're out there.
Oh, that's a limited edition. The purple, I think, was in Cambodia or something, right?
The purple was a Twitch limited edition. There's only a few of them out there, and then the blue was a Best Buy.
Black one or something?
The black one's a Reddit one. Reddit.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. There's a black one now. You can get the black one on AliExpress, but they're asking insane prices of $870. Like, I ain't paying $870 for a black G Cloud. Though it looks really
cool,
good.
Though.
Black one.
I think that's really
it
cool.
looks really cool.
Like community-driven
does.
colors. Like, I think that's really, really cool. Right?
Or do what I do, and I just skinned it.
Yeah.
I love that skin, man.
That
That
clean,
skin is
dude.
awesome. Yeah, show that again, man. I love that skin. That's so good looking, man.
Yeah.
See,
that looks super
I
clean,
would
bro.
probably skin the one I have already and probably just use it as like my traveling one. But I would like just to have that collector's one where I know it's that color.
Of course, you're that guy.
Just that OG color.
I love it. I love it. Hey, you guys.
Boy, Selfish sitting over there with 2 G Clouds. I've never touched one.
he's-
Hey, I'll send you the address after the show, and you go ahead and.
I wish we could smell baller status through YouTube. So, you guys had mentioned Nintendo Switch devices, and I kind of want to talk
Right.
about some Nintendo Switch stuff real quick, and we're gonna kind of go through it real quick, and we'll burn through it. But
So
uh,
big news: Nintendo Switch is getting sued by Brazil for breaking.
we're gonna. Yep, that
Actually,
is very
actually,
cool.
I think
That's
we
part of
left
the
that
thing.
off. We left that off of the chart, so
Yep,
that was
and
good.
I'm glad
for
you
me
brought that up.
to bring that up. Yeah,
So a couple of days ago, so it kind of came out that the Switch 2, that the sales numbers were at like 5 million in the first month, which it took the Switch 1 4 months to get, and it's kind of pacing to outpace even the PS2, right?
Right.
So Nintendo came out today and said, "Wait, hold on, that's not 100% accurate because there was a leak and said we were just testing this and we're testing that." But then an analyst that I saw and Selfish, so I don't know if the same analyst said, "No, yeah, they didn't say it was less." And in fact, it's more. And I think Selfish was the one that called it. It said he was thinking it was going to be like 5.4.
Yep.
That they're looking at.
yeah.
And at that pace, it's already pacing to be the fastest selling device of all time, which is insane because also, Too Loud even mentioned
It's the
earlier, we have a
most expensive
conversation.
Nintendo ever made, dude.
Yeah, it's the most
That's
expensive
crazy.
Nintendo ever. And I think, and Nintendo's always been successful, but they've always been pretty, in my opinion, awful to their consumers.
Absolutely.
The way they treat them. And I think right now with the Switch 2, for me, it's the worst that it's been the way they treat consumers. There's talks now that they're, that it, and Lee alluded to it with this EULA that they had where they can brick your Switch for anything, and they're doing it. So, Scatterbrain, he's got, he's, if you guys haven't seen it, his Switch, he backed up his games legitimately. And we're not talking about somebody says, "Oh yeah, I got those copies of those games. I got those and I backed them up," and you're calling nonsense. He actually went online and made a video and showed all the games that he backed up, and he had physical copies of it.
Yeah, he has a huge library.
Yeah, insane library. They banned him. News is coming out now. People are getting bans for their name. They're being told that their name violates the EULA.
Was it like Skyrim or Oblivion or something? They chose the name in there.
It was like something Tink or something. It was
yeah.
And they banned the Switch. They didn't even ban the account or give them warning. They banned the Switch. And then they're saying once we ban the Switch,
really quick, Matt. You know what I find funny about that, right? Is like we're all gamers here, right? And we've went to use names in games, and the game will stop you, like, oh, these characters are not allowed to be used or something like that. And it's just crazy because it didn't stop them. It allowed them to use the name, and then once they used the name, they banned them.
Bro, we were just playing V Rising, like 2 nights ago. And we were trying to make a guild name, and we were like, "Oh, let's do it after Transylvania." Adam Sandler's blah blah blah. They wouldn't let us use blah 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 because they thought they said it was profanity.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They wouldn't let us use anything with the word "suck" in it. Like we wanted to be like, because we're vampires, right? So it's like you're sucking blood and stuff. So I mean, anything we used, it kind of like stopped us from using. But it was a perfect example. What were you saying, Selfish?
I think that the girl that got banned, whatever that was, that I read the same article, wasn't it transferred from a Switch 1 to a Switch 2, like the same?
Yes. And it was like it was one of the family accounts. It wasn't even her username.
Yeah, it was
I was gonna say, and then it wasn't even her device. Yeah. It wasn't even hers. It was her brother's device, and she was using her account on there. And
that's why I said we have to have a warning for this stuff, right? They can't just come out and just ban. Like there's got to be a warning because kids do dumb things. It happens. Yeah. Like it happens. You're not going to be there 24/7 to watch them with a Switch or anything like that. It's gonna happen. Their friends like, "Oh, hey, put this big Switch in there." Like, and me and Too Loud and Jetta were talking about this last stream, right? They might put a big Switch in there, banned. They might think it's funny. They give themselves a silly name, banned. And that's where Brazil's coming out.
Kids do silly stuff like that just for kicks, right? Like, let me see how far I can push the limits, right? Like, let me see, or if I spell it this certain way, or leave out certain letters, or use certain characters to replace other characters, right? We see it all the time, right? Where people will use numbers, numeric characters to fill in, an alpha character. But I mean, it's not that, to me, that's not a brickable device situation. Like, that's ridiculous. That's really, really stupid. I'm happy to see them being sued. I've called it out like maybe 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
like they're on this power trip. We'll start to see them get sued. I don't know.
I hope more countries come out.
And
do you think
me too?
That's Sega country.
What was that?
Well, Brazil, everybody uses Sega. Like they're still making Genesises. And
Sega.
You can still So you think that it's Sega country, so that's why they're getting sued?
Yeah.
It's a good country.
Possible.
Yeah. I mean,
Possibly.
I'm hoping that if anything comes out of this, that we don't see like what all these companies have tend to be doing recently, and it's like they'll make a certain rule set just for that country, and then everybody else is still the same. So hopefully we see some movement. I honestly, I can't wait to see something brought up here in the States. Because like, I mean, from what I know, maybe I'm wrong, but we're the biggest consumers in the world, and
Yeah,
you
we
know,
import the most.
We are until people stop importing stuff to us.
Yeah.
Correct.
well, yeah,
that's true.
That part,
Yeah,
that part.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
but
we
I mean,
got we
there-
got great companies. We got great companies like 4PX who include fraud with their customer service. So we'll always get
legit. Seems
we'll
legit.
always get good shit.
I mean,
mean,
yeah.
good stuff. Sorry about that.
I hope Brazil's lawsuit like lights a fire on Nintendo,
Yeah.
and I hope more
Yeah.
companies jump on ship and do the exact same thing, because Brazil came out and they brought out like some great points. They were just like, you're breaking the consumer user agreement. You're breaking devices for silly things, and like people are spending $500+ on these, and you're making them useless, like
Well-
complete, and the bricks can't be reversed.
Frick 'em. And here's the other problem: is now we have a minefield when you go in the used Switch market. You always have to buy new because you don't know if somebody's returned a bricked unit or not. And
Right.
that where there's
And they're seeing that already. They're seeing bricked units that are being sold secondhand already. Yep. That's a great point. So, so Nintendo has stated, so they have 20 days to respond to the suit that Brazil started. So Nintendo said they are going to respond. I'm curious to see what they say.
They're
We'll
gonna
see.
say-
Only time tells.
They're gonna say, do you see this fine little print right here? It says we can do whatever we want. You signed it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that.
Brazil because you guys pissed us off. So now we own you. And
Yeah,
I
we'll probably
honestly, I think like at
we're
some
changing
point
it
I
to
would love to
Nintendo
see.
Nation.
At one point, I would love to see like a EULA's carrying less weight, right? Because like these lawmakers and stuff like that, they know, right? Like even them as normal human beings, they're not reading every line of every EULA they're signing, right? Like, and neither are we, especially when these companies hyperinflate them. They're inflating these EULAs to make them to where we don't want them, right? So like they shouldn't, and knowing that people are just clicking because they want to get on with their day, like these things should not hold the weight that they do. Honestly, they really shouldn't.
think about the Switch. You have minors going through the EULA.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that
Exactly.
should also
on their own,
Exactly.
and their user agreement on their own. And so they don't know what half of them probably I can't even read it. Let's be honest. So half
Yeah,
these-
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Nintendo's gonna be like, you see this little fine print? It says we can do whatever we want.
I had an
Yeah,
AirPod or iPod Touch for 5 years before I knew that it told me I couldn't make biological or nuclear weapons with it. Like somebody had to point it out.
What? Wait, you can't? You can't? What? Oh, unbelievable.
I don't know.
All right.
That's
So,
insane.
speaking of Switch, surprisingly, they have a sale with some first party titles going on, which is blowing my mind because you don't normally see that. And there's nothing like you're not going to get Tears of the Kingdom or anything like that. But Super Mario World, 3D World, Bowser Free, which is like my 3D World is my kid's all-time favorite Mario, is like 33% off at like
Your
39
all-time
bucks.
favorite what?
My kid's all-time favorite Super Mario game was Super Mario 3D
Mario.
World.
Mario.
I just wanted
Super
to hear you
Mario.
say Mario again.
Super Mario. Because you can be a cat. Mario could be a cat, right? It's normally a $60 game, so it's $40 now, which is a good deal. Animal Crossing: New Horizons, the game and the DLC is 30% off. So that's a big deal. It's like $59 with the DLC, and then the DLC is huge for New Horizons. We also play that. Link's Awakening is 30% off, $42. Odyssey, which is like an OG title, awesome title, it's 33% off, and it is $39. Super Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope is actually $14.99, 75% off. If you like RTS games, that is a free game, awesome game. So,
It's like
I know
XCOM.
yeah, but it's got Rabbids and Mario. How can you
Yeah.
go wrong with that?
Also, if anyone wants to play that game, go and buy it because it emulates like crap.
Which game?
Yes, it does. Mario Rabbids. the Sparks of Hope, the
Sparks
sequel
of
to
Hope.
the first one.
I can't do turn-based games. I don't know what it is. I can't get into them. I get bored.
I got to be like I can play that because it's Mario Rabbids. I can't handle XCOM. I find XCOM boring as all get out. So, along those same lines, there's some Steam's got their summer sale going on. I don't know if you guys looked at any of that stuff. There's some bangers there, huh?
I buy stuff every single day. I wish it would stop. Every day I find different stuff on there. I literally.
Yeah. There's nothing that's like top of the line that's new that we haven't seen, but there's a couple bangers there. I mean, Cyberpunk is $21, man. No Man's Sky is $24. You guys hear Lee and Too Loud playing. They try to get me into it, and I'm just too old to handle it. But that's cool.
You got to play in VR. You're not old to play in VR. It's great.
I'll do Pac-Man in VR or something. Selfish. Have you seen the Shadow Labyrinth yet? The trailer for that?
No.
Oh, dude, there's a Pac-Man Metroidvania coming out.
What?
Yes, it's called Shadow Labyrinth. It looks insane.
I'd be into that.
It comes out this month. It comes out in July. Stardew Valley, $7. Savar Arc, the latest version with the survival ascent, is like $22.
I know that Tula picked up like Hogwarts Legacy for like 15 or something. It was insane.
Hogwarts for 15. Diablo 4 is like $25. I mean, there's nothing brand spanking new, but there's some good games. Black Myth Wukong's like $45. So there's some really good deals.
Hogwarts at full price at release, and I still haven't played it yet. And now I can get it for $15.
Yeah, you can get it.
You should get it again, man.
That's what sold Too Loud.
And I bought it on PC after that, like about 6 months ago, and I still haven't played it.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, Too Loud was like Hogwarts Legacy $15 sold.
Yeah.
So the last thing I have on my agenda to talk about is a kind of a big one. I'm gonna throw it up on screen so you guys can see it. Is the Stop Killing Games initiative. Have you guys heard about this? I know we talked about it a little bit.
Yep.
This is crazy, right? So this initiative. They're signing a petition. There's some backlash on the guy that started it, but I kind of want to focus on the initiative itself. And it was, they had to have 1 million signatures. I think 1.4 million or something by the end of July. Huh?
They hit it yesterday, I think.
Yeah. So like last week, it was at 500,000. PewDiePie.
Mm-hmm.
Critical Moist, these are big dogs in this, in the tech YouTube creative space.
Scene.
Yeah, and they said they got wind of this, and they're like, "Hey guys, we need to address this. We need to talk about this. I mean, this is a big deal." And in a week, they got another 500K signatures, and I mean, it may not do anything of it, but I mean, this is huge. There's, I think there's a big thing here, and I don't know 100% about it, but I know it has to do with the whole idea of we don't actually own the games anymore, and these companies are selling us licenses and taking away like Ubisoft is notorious for doing this to people, right? They're taking games away. Didn't they just close down something after like a year or something?
Yeah, it was it The Crew, or it was a racing game?
The Crew started this, but that's not the one that they just closed down. Another one, yeah, I can't remember what it was, but the Crew, when they closed the Crew, the first Crew game down, that's what pissed off this guy that he started this whole, or whatever, got the initiative rolling, which I think is great. I've been watching it since that happened, but I don't live in Europe, and I don't think it's going to count if you use a VPN, unfortunately. I think that they're going to throw those out, but they have a law there where if they get 1 million signatures, the government has to look at it.
Yep.
But
the government has to address it.
I don't really understand how that works because we don't do actual petitions. Like, people have you sign a petition doesn't mean anything in America.
Right.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It's just a piece of paper.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Now somebody knows I support this, and maybe I changed my viewpoint in 10 years, and I'm stuck to it now. That's kind of like a petition in America. But in Europe, they have to actually go and they have to look at this as a government. Now they got their 1 million, signatures or whatever, which I think is phenomenal. I would like to say that it would help us everywhere in the world, because when EU passes laws, especially in gaming, it used to be that it would help us. We're not seeing that anymore after the Apple Google. We didn't see any of those changes come to America, and both those companies had to open up their markets. But I think overall, this is good for not just video games. I think it's just good for media in general. Like, we don't own anything. We found out in the last few years, but we always thought we owned it, and we don't. And so now I think we all understand that, but we didn't know that when we bought it. But also, why am I spending? Now games are going to be $100 by 2026 probably. So why would I spend $100 on something I don't even own? Like,
I mean, look at Borderlands 4, right? We've all seen the negative press. They're saying it's going to be $80, and the guy at was it 2 Gears, or what's the name of that company?
Yeah,
Developer.
yeah,
Gearsoft or Gear.
There's whatever
I
it is.
don't even know their
It's like
name.
His
Yeah.
response
Gearsoft.
is his response when the people were like, why is it so high? His response is real fans will pay the price.
Yeah,
That's an awful response, man.
Especially
I'm
because
gonna pay extra money just because you said so you could take it away in a whim. They haven't done that. Gearbox hasn't done that. But
Gearbox software, yeah.
the game before, so they're already negative downturn from 2 to 3. So you don't want to piss people off 1 into 4 because 3 wasn't rated as high as 2 was.
Right.
Not
I think
only
2, my
that,
opinion so far, 2 is the best one of everything. That, Tiny Tina, all of them. I think 2 has been my favorite the whole time.
not only that, I don't know if they still are, but what I heard was that they were releasing a collector's edition that doesn't even come with the game, and it's $150.
Yep, I did see that.
$150, and you don't even get the game.
Yeah.
My son, because he actually likes that movie, so he probably tried to get me to get him this collector's thing, and after the movie got really bad press, it was damn near free on Apple TV one day as a kind of a joke, and it's not bad, but he watches it all the time. So
I've seen it. It
could be worse.
It could have been worse. Yes, I think that the actors they got for it were completely wrong, but.
I think the best part for me was I was set up for it to be so terrible that it didn't meet that absolutely terrible mark for me that I was like, okay, it's okay.
I agree.
It wasn't the original Mario movie.
Yeah. I agree. It wasn't outrageously horrible. I know that it has better ratings than the new Snow White, so I mean that puts it above completely crap list.
That's one.
I think they're doing the same thing Nintendo did, right? Because Nintendo said the same thing when they released their games at a higher price. They were like, "Well, if you really love the games, you'll pay for it."
Well, they said
right?
I think by what they think is worth. So
I think that's different.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, they're paying what they're worth, and that's fair because prices haven't gone up. But I think it's different because I feel like Nintendo's got a different pedigree, and they've shown already. They have like we just talked about. Yeah, how they treat their consumers, how poorly, and they still on pace to be the fastest selling device of all time.
I think consumers support that. Like, will defend them as a company. I've never understood why people will go there as a consumer and go after other consumers who disagree with what Nintendo is, and they're defending this company that's making billions of dollars. Like they can do no wrong.
And they don't care about you. They don't care about you, right?
That person,
no, they don't. No,
have a funny name.
Yeah, even if you boycott it, they're like, okay, even if 100,000 people boycott it, we still be the highest selling system in the world. Like,
well, they money in the bank to skip a generation. Like if the Switch 2 wasn't successful, they have enough money in the bank right now of extra capital to switch a generation or skip the generation altogether. So,
yeah. Like at this point, you can't face them. They're at the top of the mountain. Like they made it there over since the 80s. They've been working their way there, and now they can just do whatever they want. Really, I mean,
they saved gaming.
Yeah.
2 things before we wrap up. One real quick. I feel like Lee and Selfish got to show some devices. So, you get anything in the mail this week, Too Loud, that you digging? I know you did.
Actually,
I know you did. Stop playing.
Well, I was thinking about what I wanted to show.
Because you got so much. Handheld Hoarder number 3.
Yeah.
At least we're not alone.
Actually, one that is not new, but it's new to me. I bought it secondhand, but I really dig it, and it was kind of like it's kind of one of the devices that I started my channel with. So when I saw this colorway, I really wanted it, and that's I got an all white on white R36S.
That's really slick looking, man.
And I started my channel with R36S content, and I still love the R36S. But when I saw this colorway, I was like, dude, that's so clean. Even as a shelf queen, like it's worth it. So I picked this up from somebody in the RH community. Thought it was really cool.
So
he didn't include an SD card. I thought that was kind of whack, but if you're watching, that was whack. Yeah.
One, is that thing abnormally huge, or are you just a tiny little guy? Because that thing looks ginormous in your
hands. Small hands.
It's small hands.
No, I have huge hands. This is I have huge hands. This is the R36S Max Plus Ultra. So it's like it's big, it's huge, dude. This is a huge one.
God.
It's comical in size how big it is. Actually, no, it's the regular one. I don't have the biggest hands in the world. But they work. They do.
Oh,
What is that?
the R33S.
So this is my all white game console that they came out with. It doesn't have the sticks. It just looks like it's just a sick little Mew mini clone.
Is that the awful one where the menu button is actually a reset button?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That one runs Arc. That one runs Arc OS at least, which is my favorite CFW.
Yeah. And even though, hey, real quick, I want to put out an alert, like Christian Haitian, where are you? Like, I love Arc OS. I know a lot of us here like Arc OS. I don't want to see Arc OS fall behind. I really don't. I don't see Christian and Christian, this is all love, dude. I know we spoke a couple times. This is all love, bro. I love your operating system. I always loved your firmware.
I do too.
I don't want to see you get left behind. I see like a lot of handhelds coming out that I would love to see with Arc OS. I know we all get busy in life and things kick up, and that's understandable. Just please, can I get like some Arc OS on the Miu Flip? Like that would be so cool.
Yes.
That'd be so cool, bro. I'll send you 1, 2, 3, whatever it takes. Like I know that you don't have a problem getting handhelds though. So
that would be freaking awesome, man.
It would really change the whole Flip landscape, right? To see Miu Flip with Arc OS.
You wouldn't think it would be too hard, considering that I'm pretty sure he already made Arc OS for the 3566, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The 353s, the 353 lineups have Arc OS.
RGB30s.
X55, I believe.
Yeah. No, RGB30, no X55.
Well, yes, it's already
well, the RGB30.
Yeah, so you've done a lot of the 3566s. It should be other than the stupid hingy stuff, it should be a pretty straight.
Yeah. There's just some changes that would need to be done. Aspect ratio, which with screen orientation, button configuration, and then
while we're on
the
Flips,
sleep mode.
Got the 34XX this week.
Is that the GC colorway? Is that the indigo one?
Yeah, I got the GameCube colorway.
I got the black one, and I like it, but man, I wish I got that one, man. I wish I got that one.
Yeah, really dig it. Really dig the colorway. I'm actually testing Rocknix on here right now. I have to remember Rocknix. Which firmware I put. Testing Rocknix right now. So Matt, really quick, because we were talking about this yesterday, and you were like, it was on. Okay, I forgot to turn it off. So it was on in the box. You were saying yesterday how Rocknix, how you were staying away from Rocknix right now because they kind of went the way of Newly with the whole Linux file orientation and stuff. I can confirm after using this that their MTP is working on here. So you can literally connect it to your computer with MTP. I transferred over my files that way. I didn't have to go through all of that freaking internet transfers and stuff.
My USB-C and Wi-Fi transfer rate has been awful. I typically would just reformat the second card and do it. I'm not going to play ports on those devices, even though that thing's got 2 gigs around. I'm not.
What? I am going to play ports on here. I've already put a bunch. I am going to play ports. I put ports on everything that I can.
It's just a
dude, I would put ports on my vape if I could. I played ports on everything, dude.
I'll maybe put Celeste because I do really enjoy the D-pad on that one. So
I would have to put Stardew Valley on it. I put Stardew Valley on everything.
Yeah. I put Stardew on everything too. I just don't
everything comes Stardew Valley on it already, so you don't really need to put it on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
And it has Celeste. True. It has Celeste too. So
true.
Yeah. Something else back to the R36S that when you're talking about that. In addition to that, if you decide you want to mod it, my boy Selfish got some good videos that could teach you some stuff about modding. So you could check those out, man. I know you probably never modded anything in your for.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out.
Guys that you don't know, Too Loud started out with the mod videos on the R36S. That's what blew him up. So
yeah, that is. That's actually funny. Like I have videos that are almost 2 years old that still remain in my top 5 videos every month. People are still watching R36S content.
Because they're cheap and they play a lot of stuff.
Dude, amazing, bro. Like Look,
anyway.
my favorite thing about the R36S was this, right? Like, I could literally take it anywhere. If I lose it, I okay, it sucks, but it's okay, right? I could grab another one for 25, $30 and move on with my day. It's not like losing my $200, $300, $400, $500 handheld.
Not only that, to all of my retro community homies out there that are out of the US, it's a pretty easy device to get outside of the US, in the Brazil areas, EU, Asia.
Yeah.
I know I have family in the Philippines. They're able to nab these
Super
guys.
solid.
So they're just everywhere. It's just really easy device to universally obtain around the world.
Really comfortable too. Like really comfortable.
AliExpress and $150 on TikTok, and they were still selling like wildfire on TikTok. So
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I've seen that actually. I've seen like
That's
people. I've seen them with different names, right? Like people are renaming them, rebranding them, and selling them for $100, $150 a pop, and to see them selling.
Alibaba,
right? And
I can't remember what it's called,
which
but
is
colors to it.
really crazy, but they're solid. They're solid handhelds. I wouldn't recommend you pay $100 for this device.
No.
Like, honestly,
Don't pay more than $50, man. Don't pay more.
Don't pay more.
$50,
Yeah,
and that's
don't
much.
pay more than $50, and $50 is like double what you could find it for. So
and that's getting it from Amazon or something.
And buy a new SD card. Do not keep the SD
buy
card
a new
in
SD
there.
card.
Yeah.
Or if you're selling it secondhand, include the SD card so that we can get the DTB files, so that we can figure out what panel we have, so that it's easier for us to put the software out here. Because if you don't include the SD card, I have to sit here and figure it out myself.
Test all the custom firmwares.
Yeah.
So what did Jedi get?
Wait, I got one more. I wanted to show really quick. Another flip. You know, the year of the clamshells.
It flipped for days.
Year of the clamshells, dude. So I got the I wish I got the red. But I got the black.
You and Jedi. I don't know what's wrong with the black. It's so nice. The transparent
it's beautiful.
is beautiful.
It's beautiful. I'm not saying it's ugly or hideous or I don't like it. I just prefer to have gotten the red one.
Me too.
I really like the color of the red. But no, it looks really nice, bro. This transparent with the white PCB behind it, freaking beautiful, dude. The buttons feel great. It feels great. I really want some custom firmware. Yeah.
Not only that, how can he makes the best hinges in the game?
Yeah, dude, hold on. Can we?
They've made indestructible
and look how quiet that. Listen to how quiet.
Yeah, but the old ones used to click, and I missed that on the new.
Oh no, I like it. I like it quiet, man. That clicking makes me nervous.
No way.
That clicking makes me nervous.
90, it felt so good. That was part of having it. It was the danger, right? Like now they all fall. So it's not dangerous anymore. It's just normal.
So I forced myself to been playing to make the me flip my EDC because Tula was saying how good
I love
it was,
it.
and I was turned off by the D-pad because it's grown on me a lot. I've been playing the game in a month on it. It's in my backpack. It's I'm forcing myself to play that instead of the 34XX SP, which I prefer. But
this always boggles me. Like the 3D printing master doesn't 3D print a new D-pad.
that's are you talking to Selfish or are you talking to Tula?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Selfish, you have a 3D printer? You have one, don't you?
No, I have a friend that has one though, and that's all you need.
How do you have all this other stuff
true.
and not have a 3D printer?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, one thing I know about us 3D printer guys, like we love when our friends ask us for stuff because it gives us a reason to print something. So like
I was working on my Legion Go, and I was like finding all the stuff that I wanted to do. I was just sending stuff to my buddy, like right. And I was like, this stuff would be really hard to print, and he didn't get back to me for a couple of days. And I was like, so did you look at any of that stuff? He's like, yeah, I've got it all printed. I'm like, oh, I didn't need all of it, but sure, yeah, sweet, thanks.
Yeah, we love it. We love it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
They're nerds. They're nerds like that.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. It's funny when I hear Jedi complain about something that could be easily solvable in his man cave.
Oh my god, I have a man cave. I just got a couple things.
I'm curious, Jedi. I'm curious. So, I mean, now that you have been using the flip for a while, I know when we first talked about it, and you were like, I really don't like it, blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, I love the Miyu flip. I really enjoy how quiet the buttons are. That's my biggest drawback on the SP. Like, it's just too clicky. Like, I need dead silence when I play in my room because my infant sleeps in my room and that kid can hear a fly, right? So like I need dead silence, and the Miyu flip gives me that. This doesn't. It's like
Well,
click, click,
after you
click,
open
click,
it,
click, click.
after you open it, it gives you that.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you have to pre-open it. You have to open it prior to going in the room,
Come back in, and then you're fine.
and then no, I leave it open on my nightstand when I'm done. I don't close it. Like, I leave-
That's funny.
it's a vertical at that point, right? Like,
You know what? Actually, honestly, that's how I play the Neo Flip. It's like a vertical. I always have it all the way open, and I love it.
Yep.
Like,
I love it like that.
it's the most
I do.
comfortable-
It's
I
grown
love
on me. It's grown on me. I didn't like the buttons because I didn't feel like I didn't like the travel on them or the lack thereof. But it's grown on me. They work really well for the device. They feel good. I mean, I've enjoyed it. So we're talking, right, and I hear noise in the background. And I'm like, because my wife and kids went out, and I'm like, what is he doing? Because I have a puppy. She's in a crate, and I have a blue tick hound. I'm like, what is that fat dude doing? They're blowing fireworks off in the background, and I thought my
No,
dog's
yeah.
trying to bust the door
Same
down. Man.
here.
Yeah.
Oh my
Fourth
God.
of
Here,
July.
I hear them in my background. I was wondering if it was coming through the mic. They're doing it across the
that's
street
funny.
from where I'm at right now.
It's growing on me a lot. I am about to go throw Gamma on it. Something else that we didn't cover. I want to talk about. I know Leah found there's a new release of Gamma. Huh?
I had an issue putting Gamma on my my Flip. So let me know how it goes for you.
I'm gonna need you to make a video on it so I don't screw mine up because I don't got 300 devices.
Work, so the video doesn't exist anymore. Well, it does, but
Buddy.
it's not. You know, I couldn't.
Thanks for
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Buddy. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Gamma released a new custom firmware. It's in his Patreon right now. So if you go and you support him, you get access to it. It's the E6 Max that he did the Gamma on, which I'm kind of excited about because last time we were on the podcast, I think I was talking about my nightmare experience with the E6 Max and how it
That's right.
needed a lot of work to get running at full momentum, and supposedly the Gamma's custom firmware actually increases the performance. So I'm pretty excited to see that happening, especially with the new A527 chip. Really excited to see what that thing can really push out.
Sweet.
And then he also released it for the KTR1 and the ZPG A1 Unicorn, which I think a lot of people are
I have a
excited
question
about
regarding the Patreon and Gamma. Is it one of the ones that you can pay for at one time and you continue to get updates, or do you have to keep a subscription going?
You have to keep his subscription for his.
But he will make the update public here in like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Basically, the
Okay.
Patreons just get it early, and then after a while, Gamma releases it to them. The Gamma is a great guy. I would recommend subscribing to him. I mean, if you don't have the funds or anything like that, don't think that you have to do it or anything. But he has put in a lot of work into
his
the
builds
retro
are
community.
man. His
Yeah,
builds
he
are
has made
incredible.
amazing custom firmware for a lot of devices that were broken, and he made them work.
And he's on.
Look, I'm gonna touch on something a little bit controversial, really quick. And I know I'll probably catch some flack in the community for doing this, but I don't care at this point. I don't like feeling like I'm nickel and dimed all the time when it comes to firmware, right? I don't want to have 10 subscriptions to different firmwares. I'm all for supporting developers, right? Like a one-time thing, right? Like, oh, I'll give you $10 or $15, right? And like I continue to get updates and stuff like that. I don't think anybody should work for free. You know, but at the same time, what scares me is things like, and we didn't talk about it, we have it here, projects like Zanite, right? Where people come out and they put out a project or just make a GitHub and they have nothing there backing it.
Yeah.
And they literally make a Patreon right behind the GitHub. And now they're wanting you to subscribe and pay them money. And the reason why I say the community might not like what I'm about to say is because there's a developer who I've been following their project for a really long time, and he's made a ton of bankroll, dude. I'm talking like I've seen it at a point where he was getting $4,500 a month from the community, and we haven't seen anything. About. And I'm gonna say it because, like I said, I don't care. And that's Black Seraph, dude.
Yep.
Black Seraph, literally, we've paid his life for over a year. He has not delivered. He came out and he said things like he was working on other projects or personal projects or passion projects, but yet we're still paying him, right? And I'm just, that doesn't sit well with me, man. I get it, right? Like everybody wants to work on their passion projects and stuff like that. But when you're taking funds from a community, deliver on the projects that they're paying for too, right? If you can't do them simultaneously, maybe put a pause on accepting payments from people, until you can come back around to it, right? But when you're receiving $3,500 to $4,500 a month from people on a project, and a year has gone by, and you haven't delivered anything, and we watched all of your competition release and release and release, that does bother me. I'm not really okay with that, right?
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I completely forgot about Black Seraph because I haven't seen anything actually come out of him in a while. So
Nothing.
I mean,
Other than a post saying he was working on stuff.
yeah,
Did
I
he do
completely
Duo
forgot.
after Garlic? Was Duo started
He
after
did.
Garlic? Yeah.
He
Yeah.
started
So
after
for
Garlic.
me, that's worse because his Patreon and his popularity came from Garlic, and he took the money for it and then started Duo, and then he promised, oh, Garlic 2.0 is coming out. That was over a year ago, and he released.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
I'm not a developer, but released what I see as a bootleg version of Garlic just to appease the people, and then we haven't heard from him. Then I stopped looking.
Yeah.
I even unsubscribed to his Patreon because of that. Because
I
feel the same way
unsubscribed
you
from
do.
his Patreon because the last update I seen from him felt like a slap in the face. Honestly, like it was one of the few Patreons that I was partaking in, and his last update that I had gotten at the time when I unsubscribed was the end of ETAs or something like that. Basically saying like he's not going to give us any more updates.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not going to give
Yeah.
us ETAs. Like, dude, that's the least you can do for us is give us updates. Let us know how things are progressing. Like literally, we're paying you. The least you can do is tell us like, hey guys, still working on it. Haven't forgot about you. This is what's going on in the project right now. Not ready for release. Just something, dude. Something. That's the least you can do, right? You're accepting thousands. I mean, what $4,500 a month is like $50K a year, dude. Like that's a living salary you're being paid. Like that's kind of crazy, bro. The least you can do is give us updates.
I agree.
So
The only thing that I have to say about this is I think we're in a unique position where we probably all subscribe to 5 or 10 different firmwares because we're in the position that we're in where we're working with these things all the time.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you need that access.
and I Patreon ones that the developers will give us the access to them a lot, and I'll still Patreon them just to support them. But there's so many, and so we're constantly changing. Like I was on an Ambernick device, I might make 3 or 4 different videos, or just review it from my website, different firmwares for one device to see which one works the best. Or I might go through 3 or 4 before I do my final review video to find which one I think keys in the best for that device. So I'm constantly downloading firmware. I mean, I have an entire hard drive. All it is firmware. And
Yeah,
same
I
thing.
back up all of my firmware that I receive on any device. I make a copy, I put it in my cloud, and it just sits there. If I ever need to go back, it's always there. And I even have firmware for the weirdest handhelds in the world, and it's all there. And the thing about Black Server, last time I did anything with Black Server was when he was doing fixes for the X18 POW kitty. After that, I canceled subscription, so I don't even know about any of this new stuff.
And look, I just want to clarify, right? Like I'm not saying don't support devs, right? I think it's really, really important. And if we don't support them, they'll find something else to do. So I think it's really important to support the developers, but support developers that are showing you something, that are providing you with something. And back to Zanite, don't support that project until you see some work.
Yeah,
don't support it.
No, I agree with this.
Yeah,
don't.
This he set up a Patreon before he did anything else. There's
no proof. There's no actual concept. There's no videos of anything running.
Would you say selfish?
I've never seen anything with that project other than just posting it.
Yeah,
just posting and asking for money.
Yeah. I agree. Don't put any money into that. I mean, me as a retro handheld enthusiast, I would love to see Xbox on Android. Just love it. I know there's tons of people in the community. I mean, I've searched for this for years, and I've always came to the same answers. There's no point in having Xbox on Android because almost everything was released on PS2 or PlayStation that was on Xbox. So there's like no point. But you have those exclusives for
I need
Xbox that I
Gears.
want.
I need Gears, bro.
Yeah,
I need
that I
Gears.
want.
What,
Like,
you can get Gears from Game Pass. What the
but,
original
like,
Xbox exclusives that we're
I-
missing is what? Crimson Skies and
Crimson Skies,
Jade.
Crimson Seas, Jade Empire.
And
There's
I
Fable.
understand the Game Pass thing, right?
Yeah,
But I don't
Fable.
want to always be connected, right? Like if I'm out camping,
Yeah,
and
I just
wanna
want to
pull
download
out
my game and I just
emulation
want to play.
device, I want to just have it there, right?
Yeah,
like
I
fair.
just
That's fair.
I want to be able to download like I think we talked about this like a few episodes ago with Michael, right? That we just want to be able to download our games and be able to play them even through Xbox's Game Pass. Like we just want to be able to play offline, but you can't. You have to have access to their servers, you have to have Wi-Fi, you have to have internet.
well, you can now do it with one device. You can declare one device your offline device, and you can play your Game Pass games offline. So that is a thing. You could declare one device, but it's only one. So I mean, at least that's something, right? I mean, is it good as just having it natively there, and you don't have to keep, like, because I'm pretty sure you have to like every couple months connect that thing to the internet and make sure that you still have your Game Pass or things like that. But I mean, at least it's something for now. If it's something.
Yeah, for sure. But yes, like what Tila was saying, everyone who's watching this, do not support Zanite until you actually got some solid proof that something is being developed. There's nothing there. I'm not saying it never will show up, but give it time. Don't start supporting. And on that note, let's see what Matt got in today.
Oh, good
Nothing.
catch, dude!
Okay.
I didn't even realize we didn't double back on him. Yeah,
I'm gonna do it quick.
So we're going to wrap this up. It was great for you guys to join us. We're Save State.
No. I want to give the old guy some time to shine here.
So just show us your goodies really fast. That was probably bad.
Yeah, RG Slide. I know Selfish got one too. Right, RG Slide. I got a 406H. I got the 406H originally, fell in love with it, and then like 3 days later, my RP5 came. So
I'll give you $70 for it.
No, and I got the 6-button classic, the only 6-button you need to have. Or the only classic you need to have the 6-button. I'm digging it. I'm not gonna lie, this is cool. I'm sending it to Lee probably tomorrow. I'm probably gonna send it to Lee tomorrow. I mean, it's cool. I like it. The screen's dope.
Everything we talked about was wrong with it. It was wrong with it.
No, I don't want to say it's wrong with it. I'm not sure it's for me. I have
everything
a 557 coming. I have an RG 557 coming. So
the buttons design, it was a little weird. The triggers in the back,
I don't know. I like it, but I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I set it up, and then I'm about to reset it as soon as we're done here. And I'm gonna stick it in the mail tomorrow and send it to Lee. So, but I want to talk about Selfish. I want to talk about the old guy. He looks like he's falling asleep in his chair. I just want to give him some time before he passes.
There you go.
What do you think of it?
Hey, you're one of the few I've seen with the white one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think of it? How you feel?
Better today than I did yesterday. So I finally, today was the first day that I exclusively used that handheld. So I kind of bounce around a lot, but when I'm getting ready to do a review, I kind of cut everything else off and just kind of focus directly on one handheld. And after spending the day with it today, I actually like it a lot more than I did yesterday. And yesterday,
I didn't even give it a chance. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even give it a chance.
I was using I started my day off with the V2 Mini from Retroid, and halfway through the day I switched, it was a really weird change to do in the middle of the day. 2 completely different form factors. But what I do when I do a review is I pick a game. So, and then I just play that game and that's the only time I ever get to play a game is when to try to beat it with a handheld within like a week.
So what are you playing on that on the slide?
So that's why I haven't picked yet. So I was actually working on my library here today. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do because I'm actually creating a new library that hopefully I'll be able to jump around Android devices with a little bit more seamlessly now that they're all kind of catching up to the can do some GameCube can do, so.
How about a ROM hack?
No.
I've been thinking about trying. Super Mario.
No.
What is this?
ROM hacks
Sunburn?
are great, Lee. What are
you can do Mario 64 on.
Play a PSP game. Play Kenka Bancho.
Yes. So I'm going through. So like for instance, on the RP Flip, Flip 2, I did Black on PS2 because it's like one of the last games they made. It's one of the hardest ones.
Yeah.
So if it can handle that, and that's what sold me on getting a RP2 or a RP5. To be honest with you, was the fact that I could play black on it.
Which
So
one you like better, the
RP5
5 or
back,
the Flip 2?
back there.
I like
Which one?
I like the Flip 2.
Yeah, I think I like the 5 better. I don't know. I mean, I like the Flip 2. It's super cool. I know it's like Too Loud's probably his handheld of the year so far, but and that's I like that device. I do, but I think I like the RP5 better, man.
Gimmick
I
maker.
like it better.
I like the RP5 better. Only
You got the same gens too?
because of this. If you play it like this, it's uncomfortable to me. But if you put a grip on it, it's great. But it needs a grip, so it needs an extra accessory. That's just me.
That's always been my thing. Is I don't ever pick like my favorite handhelds based on if you need an accessory. And then the Portal, I ordered it with a grip at the same time, so I never played it without it. So I just assumed it needed it. And then I took it off. And then I took it off, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't just fine without it. Why the hell did I order this?" But I can't play the RP5 without a grip because the left joystick's in the wrong spot. I know it's going to be like controversial, but if you're going to play 3D games, you need the left joystick on top. That's just my own personal opinion. If you're going to play lower end emulation, fine. Have the D-pad on top makes sense if they're D-pad centric games. But if your D-pad centric games or if your games are going to be stick centric, then that stick needs to be the most prominent feature, especially when it's really hard to hold without a case on it and use the joysticks and the shoulder buttons at the same time.
I agree with you. I'm left joystick
with
on
this,
top all the time.
But like without the case, it's really hard to hit the shoulder buttons and use the joysticks because your hands fall off of it. So, but with the case, it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Thank you, Selfish. I've thought that from the minute I ever touched the RP5.
Yeah,
well,
he's also saying that your Flip 2 is poo. No, just joking.
Listen,
No,
the RP5
no,
looks
my
terrible,
Flip 2
Selfish.
is amazing.
Dibs. The RP5, you're right, looks terrible. Dibs. When you're gonna say dibs. Nope, just say yes.
Dude, before you buy another RP5, Matt, you need to circle around on that O2 Mini, dude. I'm telling you, you are missing out, bro.
Two things, real quick.
Missing
Speaking of O2 Mini, I know that you like to get blind by the retina. Did you guys catch that the Meng Mi's only got 450 nits?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
At the price point, I'm not mad though.
It's $70.
I mean,
they had to cut costs somewhere, and
so does the Orange Pie. I don't know if you guys noticed that the Orange Pie.
Oh, it's only 450.
500.
Selfish. What else are you working on? I know you said you work. I'm guessing you're working on a review on the RG slide, right? What else you got going on that you can talk about? You want to talk about?
I've been working on for like 3 weeks now. A review on the world's most expensive DMG reason. I just decided I wanted to pick one up a few weeks ago, so I did, and so I've been working on that. But I've got a couple of teardown videos coming up. So I had a bunch of requests to do a teardown on the Mio Flip, and
I like that color, the way that looks with the DMG.
That does look really good.
Yeah,
I want the black one, dude.
So I ordered some buttons and stuff for it, so I can do a teardown and mod video for it. Those should be here this week. I think.
I'm curious, Selfish, because I've been really like on the fence to pick up a DMG, because the Classic really like made me want the DMG even more. What is your take on it? Like, do you like it? Is it comfortable? Is it worth the money? Is it too much for what it is?
You think
what are your thoughts?
Huh? Touchpad sucks. So if you think you're going to use the right joystick, then it's not worth it, I don't think. But if you're going to use it like a 40 or 40XXV or something, then one joystick, it's fine. But once you get into higher end games, which it's made for, I have a really hard time with the touchpad. And some people probably like it. I don't know. I can't turn my head fast enough to do shooters. And
you definitely got to fine tune the touchpad for it to function correctly. Like when I was playing Delta Force on the Android, I had to fine tune the touchpad to work the way I wanted it to work. To where I could just do slight movements and I was getting that fast motion.
I need to do that.
Yeah, it does take some work. It's definitely not.
I know Lee was like he said, he was playing Delta Force on there, and he was getting some kills. So I'm
Yeah,
curious on
yeah.
his settings on that touchpad
You,
because he was.
it definitely is not like I was saying a device you can just take out of the box and it just works. You got to sit there and you got to fine tune it to your own settings because people are completely different. Obviously, some people are gonna like it slower, some people like it faster. So you definitely got to go in there. You got to adjust a bunch of stuff. One thing I will say is I feel like it's a little low. I probably would have
Yeah,
liked
I can see
to
that.
have more. I think it needed to be wider, really.
Hard to hit the L2 and R2 if you
Yeah,
have to hit the thumbstick.
yeah. I wish it was just like wider. I don't think it had to be longer. I think it needed to just be wider. And I think that would have probably made it better. Maybe it works better with a grip. I haven't tried it with a grip,
I haven't-
so
I don't know.
yeah, maybe it works better that way. I'm not sure.
But anyways, my last thing is I have the V2 video done. I don't know when I'm going to put it up, but I have for the mini V2. I've had it done for a while now, so
What do
eventually
you think of that device?
I like it actually.
Yeah.
I think I have another video that I'm going to work on, but I'll just tell you guys what it is because the whole reason why I bought it was to use it with my XR glasses because I just wanted something small because I don't need the screen, right? So that was the whole idea behind when I picked that up, and so I'm working on some content right now with XR and using the V2, and it's pretty dope. Like I mean, because it just fits in your hand nice. You don't need to hold a controller. Like if I use that on my Legion Go or my Steam Deck, I have to use a separate controller essentially when I use my XR glasses, unless I want to try to fumble around on those big ass handhelds. You know, where with the V2, it's right there. It's just like holding a controller, so it's pretty dope. But that'll be
awesome.
soon.
Really quick, actually, my friend Javi from Play Retro, that he says that's his favorite Retroid from this generation.
Yeah,
is the
he
Mini
has.
V2.
He can't say enough about it. And you know what? That OLED looks beautiful in that
See
black
what you grabbed.
case.
I
Yeah,
saw what you grabbed. Let's see it.
this is what I've been working on. The RG557. It actually has gotten a lot better with the updates. There is one gripe I have about this that I was telling Too Loud about yesterday, I believe. An update came through for this guy, and in the update, it's adding Ambernix AI.
Mhm.
Like,
Do you guys see a few weeks
don't
ago that
want
there were
it.
some devices that got bricked when they first initially launched the AI thing
Yeah.
on the 557? You can
I don't
disable
want
it. You can't turn it. You can't take it out, or you can't turn it off. I mean, you can't remove it, but you can disable it. So
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I don't want it. And the worst part is like there's a bunch of bug fixes and changes for the device, and Ambernic AI is all embedded in that too. So like you're kind of
Yep.
forced to get it. I canceled the update, and now I'm just sitting here wondering if I need it or if I don't need it. I mean, I don't know how I feel about the Ambernic AI. I mean, it doesn't bring anything beneficial to me.
The only
I
thing
would have liked them to be an option.
in Chinese,
Yeah.
you can get the
What'd you
translation.
say?
If you're playing a game that's out of language, you get the translations, which is kind of
But-
nice. There's a delay, so like if you're playing remember like Castlevania, some of those games were only in Chinese or whatever back in the day. You play them and now they have English translations. But if you go back and
Doesn't
play,
RetroArch do that for you though?
The RetroArch has a translation system.
that's
It
pretty.
does.
I asked the AI on the slide if I should buy a RG slide and RP5, and it told me to buy a Retroid Pocket 5. So I know they're not in the system.
They need to work on their large language model, bro.
That's good. That's
selfish.
good.
This is the only thing I have the problem with the AI with is you need Wi-Fi access for it to be able to translate, right? It's not like it has a whole entire dictionary in there that's just translating from off the eMMC, right? So when I'm running around and everything, if I'm gonna play a game I can't read, it only can be at home because you gotta connect to Wi-Fi. So that means I gotta either hotspot or I gotta be like at a Starbucks or something so I can play there.
The only other benefit would be user or manuals. If you're a person that uses manuals, you'd be able to pull those up on the fly.
But that also requires Wi-Fi, right? So like
that's all Javi.
I
Javi
all
actually
Javi
downloads
right there,
all the
dude.
manuals. Javi
man.
takes his them 64 gig
it's
cards,
cool.
puts 20 games on it, and takes up all 64
I'm not
gigs.
I'm not gonna lie.
Every manual.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a cool idea. In terms of what it can do offline, completely useless. What it can do online, fantastic. But then that just makes it a household system, and the whole point of it is to be portable. And Ambernic AI doesn't make it portable.
And they added everything with that TA20 in it, so it's not like it's unique anyway. Every
Right?
device got it.
Yeah. It's just like I don't understand it really. Like if they put in a 2 terabyte drive in there, they put every single language dictionary inside of there, and then they let you download the manuals to somewhere where the AI can just access it and pull it up. Great. But at this point, it's a great idea. It's innovative, but it needs a lot of work, like a lot.
Good in theory, bad in
Yeah. I mean, it has Ambernic AI, and you brought up a good point. You can bring up game manuals and everything, but I could literally just turn to my phone and be like, "Hey, Gemini, pull up a manual for blah blah," and I got it right there on my phone. Like it's way faster. It's already connected to the internet, and it can do it.
But these new millennials cannot live without artificial intelligence. They won't know to ask Google. They'll have to use ChatGPT or Ambernic.
True, it's becoming very dominant, and I'm in the software world. I have a bachelor's degree in software engineering. That was my job, and I've seen the AI take over a lot of perspectives in jobs. People getting laid off for art design and things like that. And it sucks, and it is the future. I agree. Does it have to be a retro handheld? No, I don't think right now.
This guy's still trying it.
I think it's very silly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hear it, bro. I hear it.
Wait, we can't hear Selfish. What was that?
Well, I just said I think I agree. It's a very silly thing to have on a handheld.
Yeah.
So that's my take
I'm
on
kind
it,
of
honestly,
annoyed.
is that I don't think we need AI on our handheld. I think it's stupid. I don't want it there.
I'm annoyed that they're making me get it.
ChatGPT on my handheld because it's in my Android download list. So
perfect.
It downloads whenever I set up a new handheld. So I might as well just have Ambernic on there too.
But at least ChatGPT is an application and not system based, right? It's not forced to you through an update. You're choosing to leave that on there. If you want to remove it,
it's been on every handheld ever since. So I don't ever use it. I just download it with everything else.
Matt, your silly string gun is freaking loud, bro.
I'm done.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't want it on my 557, but like I'm not gonna have a choice because I won't be able to get the next all the updates that come after this update from Ambernic, if there ever is going to be any more to come. But I found that quite annoying last night when it came across my device, and I was telling Too Loud about it, how it drives me nuts that I can't really choose.
Quick, we're over the 2-hour window here. So I got one last question for Selfish, and
is it the one I think it is?
It's the most important question that you can ever be asked.
Answer this question. We already know the answer to this.
It's pink beans or black beans.
Pinto beans or black beans. Don't say pink beans. He's trying to
pinto beans or black beans. It really depends on what I'm eating, but we have more black beans in my house, but I do like pinto beans, so I'm gonna give it to Jedi, I think, on this one. But we do cook more with black beans in my house.
They cook more with black beans.
That's like saying
I think that's a neutral answer. Yeah, I think we're
saying, hey, you're really good looking, Too Loud, but not really.
I think we're gonna have to take a stain with that one.
It's more of a thing that I don't get very often, so you're gonna pick it because you want to try it. Where black beans are always around, doesn't mean it make them any worse. It's something I always have. It's kind of like an R36S. You might have 6 of them, so it doesn't make it any worse than your other handhelds. And every once in a while, I go back to it, but you might want to try something else out every once in a while.
It's too late. You're terrible.
All right, we're going to count that as abstain. One more question, and we're going to wrap this up. Selfish, what is the device you are most looking forward to that hasn't come out yet?
Steam Deck 2. No, the Legion Go 2. Legion
Go 2. Get that crap out of here, Lee.
You hear that? You hear what he says? What he's looking at? He said Legion Go 2. Legion Go 2.
Legion Go 2. Oh, yeah, my brother.
I finally, after all this time, just put a skin on mine the other day. So now that it's skinned, that means it's time for the next.
Let me see that.
Is that a D-brand skin?
Dude.
Yeah, and then it's got.
It looks D-brand. Yeah,
PlayStation
nice, dude.
buttons.
Yes, nice. That's dope. Hey, real
That's
quick,
nice.
tell us where everybody can catch you at. Where?
Yeah.
Tell
I
us
made-
your YouTube and your website again.
Do what?
Tell us
My
about
YouTube?
your YouTube and your
Uh,
website again.
So YouTube's at Selfish. Retrospect.gg is my website.
Guys, if you
Make
haven't
sure you guys check
subscribed,
them out.
do yourself a favor, subscribe. He puts out great content. He's a lot of fun to deal with. This is the calmest I've ever seen him or interacted with him. So you will have a blast if you watch his content. We're over the 2-hour mark. This has been a great show. Selfish, thank you for joining
Also,
us.
really quick, I think, let me see if I'm wrong. I think this is Selfish's first time coming on to any podcast.
No.
Is that
Right?
true?
I waited for you guys, so you're 100%.
Oh, really?
Hey, we had that honor.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Listen.
Heck yeah.
I'll take you over these two jerks any week.
Oh,
So
man.
whenever you want to come on and we need to bump one of them, let's do it, bro.
Hit me up.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Let's
man.
do
Yeah,
it.
we definitely like to have you on more often. It'd be
Yeah.
great. Just
Yeah.
come out and chill and hang out. Now that we got all the questions out of the way, you can just chill and give perspectives.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Whenever I'm
Heck
down,
yeah.
whenever, guys. Whenever you guys need me or want me or whatever.
Nice.
We love it. We love it, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
all right.
I'll end
Got-
with, don't buy this, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Do not buy
Oh my
this.
gosh. Do not. Yeah, do not. Guys, thanks for tuning in this week. This is Safe State episode 4. We had a blast. Thank you, Selfish, for joining us. I'm Matt from Digital Jedi Gaming. We got Beauregard from Too Loud Tech. We got Lee from Handheld Order. And the guest of the night is Mr. Selfish from Retrospect. Thanks a ton, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Catch you next week.
Thanks for
Hey.